I'm WWE Hall of Famer Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Tito Santana.
This is Kurt Angle.
This is Bret the Hitman Hart. This is going out to Scott and Holly.
You are listening to the
Win Twice Wrestling Podcast
with Scott and Holly.
Oh, it's true. It's damn true.
And this ho's for everybody. Ho!
Ladies and gentlemen, you are about to listen to the incomparable Win Twice Wrestling Podcast with your hosts, Scott and Holly. We always go over, brother, and that's the bottom line. Dig it? So sit back, relax, and prepare to be entertained.
Hello everyone and welcome to episode number 73 of the Win Twice Wrestling Podcast alongside your co-hosts Scott and Holly. Holly, afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Warm, isn't it?
It's toasty.
It is getting toasty, isn't it? And you actually picked I don't want to say a summer themed show, but I'm pretty sure it takes place in summer.
Okay.
And we're going back not too many years.
No.
We want to stay in your comfort zone, of course.
Yes. Well,
and there may be reasons that you picked this show that I'm unaware of. But Holly, please can you enlighten us to what show you picked for this episode?
We watched Night of Champions 2009.
First questions first. Why did you pick this show?
No,
why did you pick this show?
Jeff Hardy's in it.
Okay, Jeff Hardy's in a lot of shows. Is there any particular reason why this one?
Do you know what? I actually saw a post on Instagram about it.
Okay.
Saying that it was an interesting match to watch, and it was him and someone that I actually haven't seen him wrestle, because this was not my era.
Of course. Yeah, I was thinking you've definitely seen him wrestle, but you mean at this time?
Yes.
Okay. And that was, I wonder why they said it was an interesting matchup, because obviously from hindsight's perspective, was it? I don't know. I guess we'll
see.
Yeah, we'll see what we thought when we get into it. But
yes, we will.
Yeah, I'll be honest. When we go around this era, I get a little bit edgy in terms of edgy. No, edgy isn't on this show, but Christian is.
Yes.
Because just some of the personnel that are around there at this time,
okay,
not conducive to great matches.
Yeah.
Some of them there. The women, if we're being honest, there's exceptions, of course, but as a general rule, this era, for me, I felt like I was watching it out of habit rather than because I was enjoying it, specifically on the WWE front. So without looking into the details of the card, because I have seen this show before, I remember very little of it, but I don't know if that's necessarily a bad thing, certainly for these reviews, because it's like seeing it with fresh eyes, which is great. And there were a couple of little surprises on there for me in terms of quality, which I wasn't expecting. Quite the opposite. Because you always say, we go into these things with low expectations, because that way you can't be hurt and disappointed. So that's what we do.
You've been reading my autobiography again.
I've been reading your diary, yeah, okay. You need to change the padlock on it. Can't be I Love Scott anymore. But it's... Yeah, I thought I was nervous.
Okay.
You had me nervous when you picked this show. And also, weirdly, it's been a while since we've done one with this length.
Oh, I know.
It's a girthy boy.
It was long.
It was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But it was fine, actually. Yep. In terms of watching it, I thought it flowed quite nicely. So I say it was a long show. It wasn't really. If you think about pay-per-views in general, they tend to be around the 3-hour mark. So this was, 2 hours 54? So near enough. Yeah. But it didn't feel like the slog that I thought it might.
Yep.
So credit to the people that were on the show, because if I knew the card ahead of time, I think I'd have been more than I would have been excited. But it was very much a variety performance. I think of
the royal kind.
Where was there? King was on commentary, so guess that counts. So he was in attendance. Does that make Michael Cole the Queen? Anyway, we don't need to worry about that. But I thought there could be problems when we went into watching this. So I'll set the scene early on that. So the date for this show was the 26th of July 2009. The venue was the Wachovia Center in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Attendance on the night, 17,774, with a buy rate of 267,000. Not great. The tagline, love a tagline, every championship is on the line.
Well, that's not really a tagline.
It's not, is it? It's like I said,
fact,
Michael Cole will be on commentary.
Yeah.
Yeah, just give us something slightly different.
Oh, okay.
Like, I mean, at least imagine if they did that for the Attitude Era, though, and it's like 99, 2000, and you go, you might see a stray titty. Just I feel like that could be a little bit of offal, little bit of bollock poking out from Val, something like that.
Okay.
Just to kind of, but yeah, every championship is on the line. It's not delivering what I wanted it to here.
No.
Like London Bridge isn't the only thing falling down. That's going to take some beating for me personally. But then again, it's slightly better than the biggest event of all time, which was, of course, the big event that we saw. I'm going to ask you early doors here.
Yes.
So you picked it obviously because of Jeff Hardy against Mr. CM Punk.
Yes.
What were your expectations? We've established they were low, but were you trying to, because you knew this match was on the card, did it build up the residual expectation for what the rest of the show would look like, or were they kind of separate entities to you?
I try and just keep it all a bit separate. Like, so I knew that match was on it. That was obviously it. And I just can't not have low expectations. I can't, because then only goes wrong.
It only goes wrong.
It only goes wrong.
The only way is down.
That is that famous song.
It is the only way is down by who sings that?
Yaz.
Sure. Yeah.
Well, it's up, isn't it? But
is it?
yeah,
I have no
it's
idea.
Up.
Oh no, sorry.
But
right, I thought
down.
you said their name was Up. I was like, who's Up?
No.
I was like, no, lost on me. Sorry,
No.
a bit late in the day to be making music
Isn't
references
it
that are above my head.
No big VCAB. VCAB?
Is it what?
No big VCAB.
I
Yes.
don't know what you've got.
Vocab.
Vocab, right? VCAB. I was going to say that's a new euphemism I haven't heard before. So let's go into the show opening, shall we? Mm-hmm. So the show begins with an opening vignette highlighting the likes of Triple H, Randy Orton, Jeff Hardy, and I see why Holly picked this show, and John Cena amongst others, and makes a particular point of focusing on the championship gold. Unsurprising, really. Becoming a champion transcends time, and we see footage of champions from years gone by, such as Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Holly's paying attention, Shawn Michaels, Holly's still paying attention, and others wearing the WWF title belt. Worth mentioning that amongst all the men, we do not see clips... we do. Worth mentioning that amongst all the men, we do see clips of Michelle McCool and Trish Stratus, as well as Maurice. I don't know if we're putting all those people on the same plinth there, personally.
Yeah.
But two of these are not like the other, in my opinion.
Okay.
In terms of overall achievements and or interest. But I know one of those is going to be contentious for you, because I know you're a fan. Mm-hmm. As the initial video package draws to conclusion, we immediately transition into a close-up of Holly favourite Randy Orton, and it goes into a specific highlight reel of the defending champions who have the most to lose tonight. Apparently, the ones without have nothing to lose. Self-respect, dignity, all the stuff that Doc Hendricks loses every time I see him on TV. Before we go into the rest of the... Well, no, actually, let me finish the initial vignette, and then I'll ask you my question. So, we see confrontations take place between Dolph Ziggler and Rey Mysterio. Holly's paying attention. As well as CM Punk and Jeff Hardy. Her eyes are glued to the screen. John Cena claims that the WWE Universe will see one of the greatest matches of all time. I can only assume he is not referring to the triple threat match that he will be in later tonight. Who will stand alone as champion? The final words as we finish on a steely shot of Randy Orton, who is holding the WWF title high in the air, thighs rippling on the middle rope. Now we see the Night of Champions official logo with the words emblazoned on a silhouette of a golden title stood in front of Colosseum pillars. I like a Colosseum pillar.
Yes.
Never going to apologise for that fact. Live in the arena, a fireworks display kicks things off as we see the theme of the pillars is still prevalent in thematics. Yes, use the word thematics there. Bob Backlund, eat your heart out.
I don't know what that means.
Thematics. Like kind of I don't say mise-en-scène, but like the overall aesthetics, basically. Mm-hmm. It's a theme. It's got a kind
Because they've got the belts on every different type of curtain.
Mm-hmm.
That, you're saying, what is like similar to if there were columns?
No, they actually had columns.
Did they?
Are you serious?
I thought they were just the curtains with the belts on.
Yeah, but they also had like kind of columns that were kind of surrounding it. They weren't going down the aisle or anything, but they were kind of around the background.
Okay.
I'm sure now you're making me doubt myself, but I'm sure they were.
I just, clearly didn't.
It just
pay
wasn't. Well, no, it was quite obvious.
that much attention.
No, okay, fair enough. The voice of no. Holly, what do you think of the red carpet, our way, and general aesthetics?
I like him.
Yeah?
It's good. Yeah.
It's catchy, isn't it? There's something eye-grabbing. Eye-grabbing? Do you grab eyes? Attention grabbing.
Sure.
Yeah, not
I
eye-grabbing.
like eye grabbing. That's a different.
Hooey, haku. Like eye-grabbing. Jesus. Wasting little time, a Radiant, and I did put Radiant, Lillian Garcia introduces us to match-up number 1. By the way, Lillian Garcia, you know she's like nearly knocking 60.
She looks, I mean, obviously not here, but she
Oh, yeah.
has not changed.
No, she's a graceful older gal,
Yeah,
shall we
looks
say.
great.
Absolutely. Match number 1, Holly.
Yes.
Ted DiBiase Jr. Okay, good. I wanted to look at Holly when I said that, and her eyes just did a full eclipse. They went right into the back of her skull.
Total eclipse.
Total eclipse of the eyes. That's what Holly was doing there. Because I thought, well, this is the spawn of a man that she really detests.
Yeah.
And I figured that would, rightly or wrongly, carry over to his spawn.
Yes, it does. That is
Why?
a thing, apparently.
What is it about the DiBiase clan?
I don't know. Just right. So in my notes I've got later on proper DiBiase and then child DiBiase.
Proper DiBiase and child DiBiase.
Oh, it just really irritates me.
Maybe-
Does a good job clearly by being annoying.
Yeah.
But now this other one,
He does
I'm
very
like,
little.
The kid, I'm just a bit like.
The kid. Oh.
No, but do you know what I mean? Like, I'm just a bit like, what, are you just here because you're his son? Are you any
He wasn't.
good?
It wasn't bad
It
wrestler,
wasn't
to be fair.
horrendous, but I just.
Do you know where he is
before I'd
now?
even watched it.
Oh, okay. You might be interested. No, I haven't actually got it as a story, but in hindsight, I probably should have done this as a story.
okay.
He's being done for embezzlement and fraud and money laundering and misappropriating funds. So, yeah, they're talking about jail time for Mr. Ted DiBiase Jr. Well, everyone's got a price, haven't they?
Jesus.
Oh, dear. No, it's not. It's, there's always victims. And he's teaming alongside a nose pierce, not blonde,
Yeah.
Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think Cody Rhodes is an attractive man now.
Here, I would agree. No. Better there than
I
here.
like the darker hair.
This is what I was saying to you for ages. He's knocked the blonde away.
I do like the darker hair, but also I'm not mad at the blonde, but it does make him look a bit like a Ken doll. But nose piercing?
Oh, yeah, no, the nose piercing can get in the bin.
No, thank you.
You're not going to have me disagree on that. I think that there, minus the nose piercing, is a better look than what it is now. Oh, don't get me wrong, I like his gear now. His gear can stay.
Yeah.
The hair colour? No. The neck tattoo? No. The fucking horse teeth? No. The ginger fingers? Stop it.
Oh, that's fake tan. That's bad.
Well,
fake
of course
tan,
it
isn't
is, yeah. I
What's
don't
it-
think he's just gone into a
what's it
bag of
fingers?
Watsits, yeah. But there's something about, I find Cody false. I think he'd make a much better heel.
Okay.
Turn him heel, because then I've got a reason
Well,
to dislike
they've got to do
him.
something with him at some point.
Yeah, because it's not good, is it?
It's a little boring.
It is a little bit boring.
I've been a little bit bored of it for a little bit now.
We've a little bit for a little bit.
long time.
With Cody, I think it kind of sums it all up when we talk about the ratings that we did for the end of 2024. Like in our top 12 of the year, he just scraped in at number 12 because we felt like we had to put him there.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he might not have made it, and I think that goes against a lot of what other people think, including our editor disagreed with us on that one and said he should have been higher.
I don't care.
I know you don't, but that's why I was just sharing the general, and from what I've seen, like doing a temperature check of the room, we were in the minority for that, but we're both in agreement that something just isn't hitting.
Something's got to change.
And I'll be honest, it was quite refreshing seeing. I don't want to see the dashing Cody Rhodes again. That can get in the bin.
Okay.
Oh, do you not remember dashing Cody Rhodes? Only smoke and mirrors, and he had the little face mask on to protect his face.
Oh, I have seen that.
Yeah, that can get in the bin too.
Did he have a stash at some point?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, little. It's more of a
Okay.
Gable. What's his name? The actor. Not Chad Gable, because Chad Gable's the one that's come to my head.
Oh, you're asking the wrong girl.
Oh, it's going to come to me. Not Greg Gable. Don't know who that is. Who's Greg Gable?
Oh, is it like an older
Yes.
actor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
I
can
know
see
who you're
his
thinking
face.
of, but
Yeah,
don't know his
I
name.
really
This is like
apologise.
Guess Who? Do they wear a hat?
No. Are they in black and white? Yes.
Is it
Clark
Toby?
Gable.
Ah,
Clark
there we
Gable.
go.
Thank you.
Got there.
I'll tell you what, I'd have woken up at 3 a.m, thought
Yeah.
of that, and text you, and it would have vibrated your watch and
Yeah.
really pissed you off.
Also, if you hadn't have got that, 13 minutes in, someone would have messaged and said,
Yeah, well, he doesn't know who Clark Gable is, and she only knows The Rock. Oh,
dick.
it's still funny.
No,
it's still funny.
It's not funny. It's annoying.
The comment isn't. Your reaction.
It just irritates me.
I get some mirth out of it. It's very
Good.
That's good.
Good.
But you love it when I struggle and suffer and fall over my
yeah,
words in this.
of course.
Exactly. That's what mates do, isn't it?
Yeah.
And their opponents for the night, Holly, because they're the challengers, they're going up against Chris Jericho and a surprise partner for the unified tag team titles. You're thinking, ooh, surprise partner.
I was, yeah.
Who's it going to be?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you think you know him, but it wasn't.
I know.
He would have been.
I know.
But this, obviously, with Edge being out for injury reasons, he would come back at the following year's Royal Rumble, win the Royal Rumble. Mm-hmm. Was it that year then that he would... Was that the year he retired? 2010, was that when he retired? I feel like it might have been.
To know the answer
No,
to
I'm just
this?
thinking, I'm trying to remember what happened there, because I know he won the Royal Rumble. I don't remember if that was the year he went up against Alberto Del Rio.
Okay.
Won the title, then very quickly afterwards had to retire.
Oh.
So I think that's around about now.
Okay.
So this might be on his last little run. It's all right, we're not doing anything chronologically, so it's not like he's going to disappear forever. When you hear surprise partner,
Yes.
do the cogs start turning in your head?
They kind of did, but also at this this year, I'm a bit like, I don't know who's there.
Yeah.
So there's no point me trying to guess because I have no clue.
She's thinking, Razor Ramon. Come on, Razor.
Yeah, but old school.
Yeah, go back in time. Yeah, if it was Razor Ramon here, oh my God.
Teleport in.
The scenes.
I wouldn't have had a clue, if I'm totally honest, who it could have been.
I recall it being who it was, and I was so disappointed.
Yeah, me too.
But we'll get there. So making their way out to the ring first, the challengers for the titles, members of Legacy. No, so you won't have remembered Legacy at all, will you?
Not really, but I did assume, is this people that are Legacy people?
Yep, second generation,
so
third
I did
generation.
assume that Mr. Orton would be in there somewhere.
Yeah, so it was a feud that culminated in a triple threat match at WrestleMania between Ted, Randy, and Cody.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and Randy basically just jobbed them.
I was going to say,
Just beat them both comfortably because they basically double teamed him. Had little moments of, oh, we're gonna fight each other, which they did a little bit, but and then Orton was just like, oh, I'll just kill you both.
Okay.
So yeah, it was pointless. But they also had Manu. I remember mentioning him a long time ago. Famous in the Samoan dynasty, all that stuff. Was he a good wrestler? No. In no way. Did he have a good look, though, to be fair? No. But could he talk? No. So he offered absolutely nothing. And he wasn't there for very long and then was kind of swatted out the storyline pretty quickly. So Legacy was mainly just the three of them, but Manu did feature at parts. And Holly's laughing at her phone, so...
Looking at him.
Yeah, it's not good, is it?
Okay. Right, I see.
It's like if Jacob Fatu was your auntie.
Oh yeah,
that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I can see that. Fair.
I was about to do that Jacob Fatu line, but I don't think I'm nearly cool enough to do it where he rolls the R's. So we'll save that for another time where he's on the show and I can justify doing it a little bit more. Something I'd like to ask you at this stage, Holly. How do you feel about the son of the $1 Million Man? Do you also hate him?
Yeah.
Hate. Okay, good. We've ticked that off.
Yeah.
Hate. After the challengers have entered the ring, the speculation begins as to who Chris Jericho will have chosen to defend the tag team titles alongside him tonight. Holly, it's short-haired Chris Jericho time, baby. Thoughts?
Yeah. Not yet.
Not yet.
As in, I like it when it gets to the list and he's short-haired.
Fine. Okay.
But this, I mean, let's be real. I didn't watch a lot of wrestling in this time period.
Fair.
But when he came out and it was the instant he came out and it was short hair, I was like, oh.
How about the way he carried himself?
What do you mean?
With his cat's butthole of a mouth, Jericho saunters his way down to the ring and snatches the microphone out of the hands of Lillian, who is preparing to introduce his tag team partner.
Rude.
Unfortunately for Holly, Edge, Jericho's normal tag team co-holder, is on the injured list with an Achilles injury. Jericho says before he makes the introduction of his new tag team partner, he'll let his former tag team partner explain exactly what happened to him. We go up to the big screen and we get some footage. We now see a video emanating from St. Vincent's Hospital in Birmingham, Alabama, where Edge says he tore his Achilles tendon. Edge says this is the hardest injury to recover from, and this is coming from a man who broke his neck. Holly, did you know he broke his neck?
Wait, he broke his neck?
Yeah. Hey, Rhino
Oh my god.
broke his neck.
Broke his neck?
Hardcore Holly
What?
broke his neck.
No.
Chris Benoit broke many things, including his neck.
Oh my god.
I know, there's a lot of neck breakage.
Shocking.
Did you know Kurt Angle won an Olympic gold medal with a broken freaking neck?
No.
Just saying.
You've got to be kidding me.
They don't mention it, so you'd be forgiven for not
No.
understanding that. I thought that was mad. So, like, if you've broken your neck, don't get me wrong, I don't want either of those injuries, but I guess, surely, how is a broken neck easier to recover from than an Achilles tendon?
I don't know.
But you have to take it from the man who's had both, I guess.
Of course.
But that struck me as being odd.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to be real. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I'm pretty sure if you'd given the choice, you'd probably rather have your Achilles done,
I
but
definitely would rather have done that. Than
Yeah,
the neck.
absolutely.
But then again, haven't done the other, so I don't know.
exactly. So again, we'll take him at his word.
The surgery clips, though, in the video
Oh.
are less than required.
Oh, yeah. How do you feel about that? Because that made me a little bit squiffy. Put it in black and white all you like. I can see what's happening.
Yeah, it's weird. If it's like a non-real horror film style
Yeah.
gore slasher, fine.
Yeah.
If this is real surgery, I don't want to see.
Yes, and also it's like the way he's going, like, it's like the doctor, the surgeon was surprised what he was seeing as well. He's like, gets like barbecue tongs, to be quite frank, to pull at the muscle and the
It's
ligament.
like watching real life operation.
Yeah, and he pulls it out. It's like, would you look at that? That pings.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. It's a muscle.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah,
I
wasn't a
didn't- I
fan.
didn't need that.
I think I made a noise similar to when I saw it. So yeah. Edge says the injury could be the end of his career. Oof, he wasn't far off wrong, but again, it was the neck that did
Yeah.
it. Weird. And we see gnarly footage. I put because I didn't
Gnarly.
quite know how to word it, of the surgery reattaching the muscles in his ankle and heel.
Ew.
Edge says that he has been far from an angel in the WWE, but he doesn't need anyone coming oot like Chris Jericho to attack him verbally. He does say oot. Edge says that when he comes back, he'll prove Chris Jericho and everybody else wrong. Who else is doubting him?
I don't know.
He's got some issues there. He's a broken bird, Holly. He needs fixing.
Oh.
Leave it to Beth. Back in the arena, Jericho will tell the audience what was actually wrong, and that was him picking Edge as a tag team partner. We found out that Edge is weak, frail, and injury prone. He'd already broken his neck, Chris. What were you expecting? And that he is most importantly selfish for getting injured. I like this.
Okay.
What about Jericho being left high and dry? Selfish, Holly. Jericho has picked a partner who is worthy of standing beside him in the ring to defend the titles. That man is the Big Show. I can hear Holly groan through time and space.
Did you actually write that?
Yep.
Yeah, my note literally says, and immediately, I don't care.
Yep. Literally word for word, I can hear Holly groan through time and space. Even better news, Holly. Show is in his Amish egg phase. Jesus Christ. Kidding hell. How many wives has he got? I don't know how Amish community works, so I probably shouldn't start making guesses there, because that's Mormon community, isn't it? But I'll tell you what, you think King Kong Bundy's an egg? Ooh, boy.
Yeah, this is interesting.
I feel like what they've done here, because, you know, Big Show, when he's had the goatee with the bit, I can get on board with that.
Yeah.
When he's used all his facial hair and hair on his head with a magnet, like iron filings, and just move them to the bottom of the picture.
Oh, yeah.
Don't really, is
Yeah.
my recommendation. No oil painting by any stretch, but don't do that.
No, it's
Don't
not-
ever do that.
Not the Big Show for you, this one.
Don't wear a unitard. Don't wear a unitard and have that facial hair and be an egg. It's just everything that's being offered here.
Just don't be there.
Just don't be there. Well, do you know what? He was actually supposed to be in another match on this card. I don't know if you heard it in the commentary.
Oh,
So they had
God,
to
no.
replace him. So he was going to be in the
Oh my
US
God,
title.
Yes, he was.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. Well,
Yes.
glad he wasn't there.
Yep.
So, this, Holly, is the birth of the tag team that would eventually become known as Jericho.
Cool.
The bell sounds and the two men... I'll tell you what, these are two dudes with attitudes right here, if I ever saw it.
You'll go.
The bell sounds and the two men to start the match are Big Show and Cody. Show bum rushes Cody into the corner, and I'm not even going to... Actually, no, I am going to ask Holly, whose side are you on? Oh, my God.
I mean,
God.
Yeah, this is annoying.
Yeah.
This is one of those where I just don't care.
The ref?
But, yeah. Yeah, get involved. Get involved. I suppose at this point as well, I would unfortunately have to go with Jericho and Show, but only because it's Jericho.
Okay. Because none of the four here were delivering anything you wanted.
No.
So, Show bum rushes Cody into the corner, and the grandson of a plumber has to quickly duck out of the way of a big right hand that follows. Show is stalking his prey and backs Cody into the opposite corner, where he lands an overhand giant chop to the chest that explodes around the arena.
Wow.
And we see this handprint throughout the evening.
This might be the best thing I've ever seen.
Yep.
This not even here, but in 2 hours' time when we see it, it looks phenomenal.
Full on handprint. If he was wearing a ring, you'd fucking see it.
Even, I swear, you can even see like the imprints of like, you know, when your hand's got indentations,
Yep.
like your knuckles.
Yeah.
I swear you can even see those. It's insane.
Yes, he took a proper
It's
clapping.
great.
Ted also takes one in a second, and you can still see his, but it's not as clear as Cody's.
Okay.
Not as clear as Cody's. Right hand to the gut, and now Cody is sent flying across the ring, where he rolls to the outside upon landing. From the ring, Show grabs Cody by the head and lifts him up onto the apron, but finds himself guillotined over the top rope. DiBiase in off the tag, and he scores a number of right hands before being levelled with a shoulder tackle. Into the champion's corner Ted goes, and he eats a couple of punches plus a big overhand chop to the chest, and that's Ted's. Tag to Jericho, who gets an assisted whip into a Stinger splash. Jericho dismissively prods his boot at the down DiBiase before knocking him down with a back elbow off a whip. Big Show lifts his boot onto the top rope, and it is used to run DiBiase's face into. The big man tags back in and lands a big uppercut to the ribs. Big headbutt, and now Jericho is once again the legal man. Y2J gets an assisted press into the air before being dropped on his opponent, which doesn't look great if I'm being honest.
Nope.
Delayed cover gets a count of 2. Ted lands and clubs the champion to the back of the neck before making the tag to Cody. Whip is reversed, and from the apron, Show lands an elbow into the back, allowing Jericho to get a schoolboy pin for a near fall. Kick to the ribs finds its mark, but as the referee is distracted with Show on the apron, DiBiase low bridges Jericho as he hits the rope, sending him to the outside. It's around about this point in the match, Holly, where I went, who the fuck are we cheering?
Yeah.
Heels against heels is rare in WWE, and this isn't the combination. Do they just have no tag teams that made sense?
I guess not.
So you notice that in this match, Jericho pretty much started to get the face reaction out of the four men. And he's the one that's trying to be a heel more than anyone.
Yes.
Which must be annoying, actually, to be fair. Cody looks confused, and he's not the only one. And now it is his turn to distract the official so Ted can land a cheap shot. Rhodes heads to the outside and drives Jericho back first into the apron. Back in the ring, and Cody makes the tag for DiBiase to score with a stomp to the exposed midsection. Another quick tag, and we see Legacy connect with a chop block clothesline combination, which I quite liked. Cover gets a near fall. Big kick to the ribs lands, and Cody is tagged in once more. Kick and elbow connect from Cody, who whips Jericho hard into the buckles before using the ropes to assist with a stomp. Jericho fires back with a forearm, but finds himself snapmared down to the canvas, and for the second week in a row, Holly, we see a cravat chin lock. Big fan. Jericho returns to his feet and fights his way free before looking to counter a whip with a sunset flip when Cody ducks too early. Rhodes staggers to make it to the top rope, and he does reach the rope, climbs out of the ring and drags Jericho over the apron, where he connects with an elbow to the clavicle. Cody runs Jericho into the buckles and makes the tag when they return to the ring. Right hand and a number of boots by DiBiase find their home, and Cody uses the distraction of the official to drag the back of the neck of Jericho over the middle rope from the floor. Jericho fires back once more and leaps, looking to make the tag, but is caught in the air and run across the ring into the corner of Legacy. Which is Jericho's playing face here, because you don't do the leaping tag unless you're the face team. So I wonder if they went, let's see who the fans react to, and that's how we'll play the match out accordingly.
Maybe.
I reckon if I was a betting man, I mean, Jericho might well have talked about it on one of his podcasts, but something I should look into. Jericho fires. No. Cody on Jericho done that. Middle rope from the floor. Jericho fires back. Yeah, that's it. Cool. Talk to Cody. Oh, he talks to Cody, who whips Jericho into the buckles but misses on his charge. The two men exchange forearms briefly before Jericho whips Cody into the buckles and runs into a raised boot. Cody incredibly springs to the top rope and connects with a standing moonsault, from which he hooks the leg and earns a count of 2. Very nice, Cody.
Yes, very.
Running Enziguri connects by Jericho when they return to their feet, and both men are down. Cody manages to make the tag, and DiBiase narrowly prevents Jericho from making one of his own by dropping an elbow across the back. Ted drags him away, but is countered into a small package that narrowly misses the count of 3.
I wonder if that's ever not going to be slightly amusing for me.
Do I have to, if it's a certain size gentleman, do I have to say rolled into a big package?
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, okay.
Mixing up a little.
And if they're like bit like fat, I'll go rolled into a fat package? I feel like I can mix it up. Yeah, I've got to do that now. Okay, fine. Quick clothesline puts the champion back to the canvas. DiBiase ducks too early off a whip, but recovers in time to deliver a power slam on the charging Jericho. Another 2 count. Jericho looks to fight back, but is slickly taken down to the canvas and eats a boot straight to the face. That looks like it landed pretty hard. The camera did very well on that. Jericho, why did you make that noise? Do you know something I don't?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I also was thinking about, unrelated to this, talking about kicks that land. There was a recent, I don't know what it was. What day is it? Monday? Maybe it's at the weekend. I don't know. Jey Uso.
Logan Paul.
The kick to Logan Paul.
Yeah,
that
nice.
boy is lucky he's got some teeth. Oh no, don't. Even if you don't like someone, I just think losing teeth is horrendous.
Oh yeah, I'm not
so he's
saying.
lucky to actually have his gnashes, I think, because that did not look nice.
Yeah, I mean the picture, perfect.
Yeah.
To the point where I was like, how did you not lose all your teeth?
Yeah.
He didn't lose any, did he?
I don't think so.
No, very good.
They're probably not his anyway, but...
True, nice gentle touch by Mr. Uso, is what I'd say there. Although tell that to Logan's jaw, I guess. Jericho staggers into the buckles after kicking out of the pin and manages to avoid a charging challenger. Jericho picks the legs and looks to apply the walls of Jericho, but finds himself flipped head over heels in a counter. Wild swing by Jericho is ducked, and DiBiase looks to apply the $1 Million Dream, just like Papa would. The champ fights and manages to counter before tripping Ted down to the canvas and once again looking to apply the walls of Jericho, which he manages to secure on this occasion. On the outside, Cody runs to distract the Big Show, who chases him into the ring. As he's being admonished by the official like a naughty schoolboy, Rhodes seizes the moment and drives Jericho into the canvas with a DDT. DiBiase drapes himself over for a cover, and we get a 1, 2, no. If there was any doubt at this point, the chair... sorry, what?
Ooh.
No, okay. For some reason, it doesn't like this word when I say it, so it always changes it, so I know what it's trying to say. If there was any doubt at this point, the cheer at Jericho's kick-out has made the champions the face team to the fans, at least for tonight. It always changes it to chair, however I say cheer. It's like, look, my South African. Cheer.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, that's the only way I can... Anyway. Jericho's whipped to the ropes, but it's too close, and Show makes the blind tag as the Canadian eats a dropkick on his return. Big Show grabs DiBiase by the throat and does the same to Cody, who runs into the ring. Annoyingly, you can tell when this isn't going to work, as Show begins to look down and tremble a little like a shaking fucking shitting dog, signalling for them to kick him in the midsection or the leg to break his grip, and it winds me up.
Yep.
Both members of Legacy hit the ropes, and as Jericho low-bridges Cody, causing him to tumble to the floor, Big Show connects with a spear on DiBiase, which was actually pretty good.
It was alright.
Pretty good. Show makes the cover, and we get a 1, 2, no. Cody breaks up the pin. I thought that was going to be it.
Yeah, me too.
Don't have too long to go, though, to be fair. An angry big man looks to toss Cody over the ropes, but he holds on and skins the cat back into the ring. Now Holly's interested.
Yay.
Whilst Ted holds Show's attention as he begs off. Drop kick by Cody to the back, and DiBiase scores with 1 to the knee, bringing Show down to all fours. Hello. Codebreaker from out of nowhere by Jericho on Ted, and Show slips into position to apply the modified camel clutch, or as it's known here, the colossal clutch. And DiBiase is pounding the mat in submission. I'm not surprised. It looked like he's about to have his spine snapped in half. Yeah. Good sell.
Yeah.
Or he's actually getting fucked.
Yeah.
Your winners of this match and still unified tag team champions, Chris Jericho and The Big Show. Holly, what did you think of the match?
It was alright.
Okay.
It was all right. Considering I was really like, ugh, when they announced it was Show. When it finished, I was a bit like, oh, that was okay.
Do you know why?
Because it finished.
Limited involvement from Big Man.
Yeah, true.
They used him well. They used him well in this match.
Yeah, I gave it a solid 2 out of 5.
I gave it 2.5.
Okay.
I would say this is one that actually slightly went higher than I was expecting it to.
Yeah, okay.
Not by much, but this could have been absolutely toilet. And the fact that when Show is announced as the surprise partner, both you and I had a similar reaction of,
Yeah.
and that's not usually a good thing. So the fact that we still both gave it 2 or higher, not bad. Not
too
bad.
Shabby.
We now head backstage where Josh Matthews, that's a face we haven't seen for a while, introduces us to the World Heavyweight Champion, CM Straight Hair Punk. Josh wants to ask Punk what his feelings are on his upcoming title match against Jeff Hardy, who claims that the champion has forgotten what it is to be human. Ironically, Jeff was so high he didn't know what human was anymore. Holly, with Punk here, just talk to me about the hair. Just give me a breakdown of the locks.
It's not good. Doesn't look good.
Wet, fine. Dry, no.
It does not look good. I think I remember saying to you when I watched this, like, I think Punk is an attractive man. Right?
He is.
Now, great. He's aging like a fine wine. Back before shaved head, great. Absolutely great.
Shaved
this
head?
Look,
okay.
Shut up. This look, for me, does nothing.
No?
And it baffles me how he can look like this. I mean, let's be clear. I am nothing, right? But, like...
I am nothing?
I am nothing. Like,
Holy
shit.
No,
you know what I'm saying.
I'm not paid enough for this
Like,
counselling session.
No, you know what I mean. But, like, so I can't really judge someone. It's just my opinion. But I'm just saying... The fact that he's an attractive man in other aspects, I see this and I'm like, oh God, this is horrendous. How did he rally through?
Well, I don't want to give you an ego
The locker
boost,
room.
but I prefer you to CM Punk from my
that's very
perspective.
kind of
But
you. Thank you.
but I will say that CM Punk ain't an ugly man, but
No,
he
he's
needs
not,
the
but-
hair wet or greasy
Or off.
or off.
Off.
Yeah, pants. Who needs them?
And I'm not a fan of the...
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We're getting there. No,
Yeah.
go for it. Now's a good opportunity as any.
I don't know. The piercings are just a bit... Right. I have no problem with piercings either.
No.
I've, dated people that have had piercings.
Yeah.
Absolutely fine. But for some reason, for me, it just doesn't look right with him. And when he talks and you can see the ball
On the tongue.
of his tongue piercing, I don't know. There's something about it that just doesn't...
Is that not supposed to excite the ladies?
I haven't got a clue. I don't know. It's weird.
Okay. The lip piercing I could tolerate. It's the tongue one that I'm like, oh, no.
Can't stop looking. At the minute I noticed it,
Yeah.
I then paid no attention to what he was saying because all I can see is this moving. Like
It's like a dog who's taken an earring off the floor and you're like, oh, I hope he doesn't swallow it. Like
that's all I can look
yeah.
at.
No, I get it.
My little brain.
No, that's fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Punk says that he doesn't feel like answering Josh's question, and that's fair enough. Instead, he feels like asking one of his own to the audience. Punk asks the audience if after everything he's informed them about Jeff Hardy, which is all true, are they still behind him? The fans cheer in response, and Holly's nodding. Punk grabs the microphone, asking if he can borrow it, and he makes his way through the curtains and out into the fans. The World Heavyweight Champion climbs onto some sort of production box, I think, and questions the fact that they still choose to support a man that, for all intents and purposes, can't even support himself. Not wrong. Punk asks any of the fans who are wearing Jeff Hardy's merchandise, or God forbid, have their faces painted, he wants to see them stand up and make some noise. He tells the cameraman to get a real good shot of the people, because the truth is, he doesn't blame anybody here for supporting Jeff Hardy. He blames their parents. He corrects himself, though. He shouldn't have said parents. He should have said parent. Because it is obviously a single-parent situation, and coming from that environment himself, he should know. Now, I'm just going to put a pause in this in a second, and how angry, how enraged were you at CM Punk at this particular moment?
Livid.
And were you thinking, I don't like that some of the points he's making are fine, but like it's just...
Yeah, he does a very good job of what he's trying to do.
Yes, it is brilliant.
Very good.
Because the stuff he's saying, for the most part, probably isn't untrue in a lot of circumstances.
It dances along the line of...
Too close to the bone.
Well, I mean, I'm sure, but yeah. Also, this went on for quite a long time.
It gets better.
Which was great.
I was fine with it.
Which was great for note-taking.
It was good for note-taking, but I also thought the content of it was actually pretty good. There was only one bit where I was like, meh.
Yeah.
But there's still more to be had. More bullets are going to be fired off from this old Western classic. The parent is so concerned with having their child grow up to be a failure, just like their marriage failed, that they're willing to acquiesce to every whim the child puts forth. Doesn't make them a good parent, no. It makes them an enabler.
Oh.
It's sad. So sad. It's a sad situation, or something to that effect. I might have put my own little bit.
From Elton John.
Yeah. Punk says that anyone who supports Jeff Hardy under the age of 17 is not to be blamed. Holly is thinking, what's your fucking point, big man? Mm-hmm. Which I've literally put here because I was like, oh dear. I was like, ooh, yes. He's not pulling punches. He's not pulling punches. No. It starts with a Jeff Hardy t-shirt. Next, it's a pack of cigarettes and a bottle of beer. Then a bottle of Jack Daniels, which is a gateway to marijuana, I'll have you know. With each reference, it's worth noting the crowd is cheering. Mm-hmm. He's usually out here encouraging people to just say no, because sometimes it's the things that you don't do that make you the person you are. He's looking forward to a straight-edge, drug-free American society. Just say yes to the winner of tonight's match. Just say yes to the World Heavyweight Champion. That's the bit he lost me on, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
The screen fades to black before we get the WWE infomercial about not attempting what you see at home. I probably should have gone before the Jeff Hardy one. Yeah, but it's good. Match number 2, Holly.
Yes.
Interesting one.
Yes.
One that you wouldn't have seen coming.
No.
Tommy Dreamer versus Christian for the ECW title. What were your initial thoughts?
All right.
Okay, really?
I'm all right
Tommy Dreamer?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't mind. Well,
you've not enjoyed the only match we've seen of him so far.
No, I recall seeing him in other things, but it was weird to also not see him in a hardcore match, because that's namely what I remember him for.
Well, it's fair. ECW original.
Yeah.
Also, it's the ECW title. Well, it's not, is it? It's the WWE ECW title.
Yeah.
So that is, if you ever hear the phrase that's because it's mocking what it's actually supposed to be. Whose corner are you in?
I wonder.
Tommy Dreamer, you just said you rated him.
No, Christian.
No? Okay.
Short hair Christian.
Short hair Christian.
Yeah.
What's it finger Christian.
I mean, he's a bit orange.
Bleach blonde Christian.
Yeah.
Looking like an orangutan Christian.
Oh.
It's a bit much. It's a bit overwhelming on the senses.
A little, but he started the fine wine process here.
I will agree with you, but the dyed blonde bit is my big area of concern. We see that there are multiple announcers here tonight as Tony Chimmel introduces the second match of the night. On commentary, Josh Matthews points out that the ECW champion, Tommy Dreamer, is the last of the ECW originals in the promotion. Sabu, etc., all that gone.
Okay.
So, fine. But hold your horses, Holly. Here comes the vintage wine himself, and yes, I have put that, Christian Merlot.
Oh, okay.
He looks a bit Merlot. Quite literally at the moment. Point of contention for me, though, I don't like his hair bleached blonde like this.
How mad were you that Dreamer came out first?
Right. Okay, so for the most part in this show, they do it right. There's a couple of notable exceptions. And do you know what's bad? I didn't even notice it in this match.
Did you not?
No, that's how little regard I hold for the WWE ECW title.
Okay.
That it genuinely didn't even register with me.
Okay.
It did, I think, in all the other
Later.
matches.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Main event, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
The bell sounds and the two men fist bump. Cool. They lock up as Josh informs us that Dreamer won the title by beating Vladimir Kozlov, which is surprising given how highly he was viewed by the company. Christian backs Dreamer into the buckles and gives him a clean break. They exchange words before Dreamer paintbrushes the challenger across the face. Christian returns with a hellacious slap of his own, and they lock up once again. Side headlock and push-off sees Christian dropped with a shoulder tackle before immediately kicking out of a cover. Armringer flips Christian to the canvas, but he kips up and flips the champion down to the canvas himself. Side headlock applied and we get another push-off. Christian slides between the legs and scores with a spinning back heel kick. Cover barely gets a count of 2. Corner whip is reversed, but Christian dips between the ropes out of the way of the charge and looks to tilt backwards to deliver boots to the face, but it is blocked and Dreamer connects with a rope-assisted neckbreaker. Only a count of 1. Fuck selling. Mm-hmm. Matt Striker on commentary. Ooh. I never had an issue with Matt Striker on commentary until he did one particular Royal Rumble where I wanted to headbutt him on the bridge of the nose. Really knowledgeable guy, probably underutilised in terms of the knowledge that he brought to the table for commentary. Yeah. I don't think he was as bad as a lot of people made out, but he started being really too fanboyish in a Royal Rumble, and I'm not even going to say I want to get to that Royal Rumble at some point and just see your genuine visceral hatred for the moment. Okay. Because every time I hear it, I go, I tense up. I feel uncomfortable. It's warm in this room, but I just feel uncomfortable in general with the tone he took. And from there, he lost me as an announcer. But at this point, I think he's still okay. I think it was 2011 where he really upset me. Matt Striker says that the ECW title has changed hands 12 times in the city of Philadelphia, which sounds like an impressive stat, but ECW was a Pennsylvania, Philadelphia-based promotion, so a lot of the title changes are going to take place in Philadelphia. It wasn't always exclusively there, but more often than not, it was. Dreamer eats a couple of right hands to the face, and Christian connects with a leaping European uppercut from the second rope. The champ rolls to the apron whilst Christian rallies the fans, but he charges right into the shoulder of Dreamer. Suplex attempts by the champion is blocked twice, and after a right hand to the face, Christian slides between the legs and pulls Dreamer by the leg, causing him to land face first on the ring apron. The challenger enters the ring, hits the ropes, and connects with a diving dropkick between the second and bottom ropes that sends Dreamer crashing into the announce table. Holly, you shook your head, I noticed there.
At that point, before he does it, I went, oh no.
Oh, you were thinking suicide dive.
And then he does what he does, and I was fine with it.
Fair. Christian springs to the second rope and flies over the top to the outside, but misses the target, instead landing on the black mat at pace. From the apron, Dreamer connects with a running senton, that you don't see every day from Tommy Dreamer, that wipes Christian out before returning him to the ring for a near fall. Running power slam by Dreamer also gets a count of 2. The champ heads to the second rope but is cut off with a right hand and dragged away from the corner, landing back first on the canvas. Snapmare and kick to the spine by Christian. Right hands by the champion, but Christian fires back with a couple of forearms before looking to hit the kill switch. Dreamer reverses it and looks to connect with a back suplex, but the challenger lands on his feet and jumps onto the back in a sleeper hold.
Yay.
Tommy takes a few steps before running and jumping into the air, landing Christian back first onto the canvas with force. Yeah, that sucks. I can't imagine that feels good under any circumstances.
No.
After a moment of both men being down, Dreamer runs forward, but Christian quickly jumps onto his back for a second time, which actually was quite good, that one, to apply the sleeper hold once again. The champ evaluates his options before deciding to charge at the rope, sending both he and Christian over the top and down to the floor. That was different. Yeah. I quite liked it. Yeah. The referee reaches a count of 8 before Dreamer makes it back into the ring. Christian heads to the top but jumps into a punch to the midsection, flipping him head over heels because now he's overselling. Clothesline by the champion, and he sends Christian into the air with a what is this move called, Holly?
Ooh. No, we're not there yet. Catapult? No. I don't know.
Yes, a flapjack, which earns him a near fall.
Oh, it's always that one.
The challenger is hung in the Tree of Woe.
There it is, for God's sake.
And after engaging the crowd to chant ECW, Dreamer charges and scores with a basement dropkick.
Do you know what's really annoying?
What?
I've got his in written down.
You've got it written down?
Yeah.
And you still didn't know what it was? That's amazing.
Div.
That's amazing.
Absolute div.
Kick to the midsection, but the DDT is countered. Oh, spoiler alert, by the way. You may have opportunities to say other names of moves throughout the show, so just bear that in mind. But the DDT is countered. Dreamer avoids the clothesline and connects with the sky high that results in the 1-2 no. Pump handle slam. Maybe I am saying chairs instead of cheers.
Slim.
Yes, but do. Pump handle slim. Attempt. I'm not going to do that the whole time because that would ruin my brain, basically, sees Christian slip out the back door.
Hey.
There it is. And he scores with a reverse DDT that earns a count of 2. From the second rope, the challenger scores with a missile dropkick before returning this time to the top rope, but finds his missile dropkick attempt caught and countered into a Texas cloverleaf. Matt Stryker informs us that Dreamer has been training with Dean Malenko. Did you write down Marengo?
No.
Damn. And this is a particularly devastating hold. Ooh. Christian manages to return to his back and looks to fight free, but is catapulted face first into the turnbuckles, which is what Holly thought I was talking about earlier. Reverse kick to the gut by the challenger, who leaps to the second rope and scores with a sunset flip. The position is reversed and Dreamer has a pin as the two men go back and forth on covers. With Christian backed against the buckles, he slips out of the way of a charge and this time does connect with the pendulum boots to the face. Top rope missile dropkick this time does find its home, and now he stalks the champion. The kill switch is once again avoided, but only momentarily as it connects at the third time of asking. We get a hook of the leg, and the 1, 2, 3. Christian wins the ECW title by pinfall. A nice moment as the beaten former champion offers his hand and congratulations. Instead of a handshake, Christian gives him a hug, and Dreamer raises the new champion's hand in victory before leaving.
Nice.
Holly's
like
stifling a laugh.
I like that. Yeah.
What did you think of the match?
I thought it was alright. 2.25. So for me, it was better than the first one. A little bit repetitive, mainly from Christian and his drop kicks.
Okay, yeah, I hadn't spotted that, but fair enough.
I did enjoy it. Good length.
Yeah. 3 stars.
Wow.
I agree, it was better than the first match.
Yeah.
Perfect length. I was never bored at any point in this match. Was it a great match? No.
Yeah.
Was it above average? Yes. Did I think 2.75 was right? I was either that or 3, and I went 3. I'll give it a 3.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, I was surprised by it. You'll notice a theme in some of these matches, I think, where I was going, okay, fine.
All right,
Okay.
all right.
The cameras take us backstage where we see Todd Grisham standing between the victorious Unified Tag Team Champions.
Boring.
Todd congratulates the two men, but does point out that nobody knew they were such good friends. Big Show's quick to interrupt him and correct... sorry? Oh, yes, no, that makes sense. Big Show's quick to interrupt him and corrects the height which he is holding the microphone. He says, I'm up here, which was good, before saying that the two of them are not friends. But you don't have to be friends to be champions. This is about business. Jericho reiterates the point and says it might have been the best decision he has ever made in terms of business. Jericho says that Show is a destroyer of buffets, amongst other things, and together they will be the most dominant tag team champions of all time. Better than the Hart Foundation.
No.
Better than the Bulldogs.
No.
And better than the Legion of Doom.
No.
Correct. Big Show says that this is nothing but business apart from one small thing. The microphone is passed back to Jericho, who says, "Thank you, Edge, for making all of this possible."
Oh, this is... I wish people could see the little mouth
the cat.
you did. Yeah.
The two men smile sinisterly before heading off camera. We get a brief shot of the Liberty Bell before we head back down to Lillian Garcia in the ring for the next match.
Yes.
I've got a bone to pick with you.
Sorry. I didn't make the show.
No, you didn't. You did make us watch it.
Yeah, but you've made me watch some shite.
And you've held me accountable, as I'm doing with you right now.
Yeah.
So, what's your point?
This is
Be
one
nice.
match out of many.
It is one match out of many, although there's many people in said one match.
There's quite a few.
So it's a 6-pack challenge for the United States title.
Yes.
And I'll be honest, I wept for my notes, thinking... Because at first I thought, oh, it'll be fine. 2 in the ring at the same time, and each person will pick a corner.
Yeah.
No. Everyone is fair game at the same time.
Apparently so.
I literally sat there, had to stop the audio dictating on my phone so I could say, fuck's sake, Holly.
Fine.
Wasn't her intention to necessarily pick this match, but alas, here we find ourselves on the show. We've got Jack Swagger versus Carlito versus The Miz versus Primo versus MVP versus Kofi Kingston for the United States title. What went through your thoughts?
Oh, good. 6 people that I don't really care about.
Wow.
At this point, anyway. And, Carlito's just been let go, hasn't he?
Yes, I saw that.
Yeah, and told to repay money that he's Nabbed.
That is what they said, isn't it? But he said all jokes aside. So I don't know how serious that is.
But hey-ho. But yeah, so he is a no more. And the Miz's contract is due up in the next 2 weeks too.
I think he'll get renewed. He's too much of a company
I
man.
definitely think he'll get renewed, yeah.
Too much of a company man. They can do the not the presentation, but the make an appearance type stuff.
Yes.
Because by all accounts, he's great at that.
Yeah,
so fair play to him.
Very good.
He doesn't even need to wrestle. He can just be an ambassador.
No, I agree.
Whose corner are you in?
Oh, this was really hard. But I mean, at this point in their careers, didn't care. So I just threw it back and went for the Miz.
So you weren't in the corner of Jack Swagger?
Oh, God, no.
No? Okay.
No.
I can't take him seriously when he's talking as he comes down to the ring. Because it's just, you can see he has, and fair enough, speech impediment. I'm not mocking it in terms of him having it. I'm mocking it in terms of I'm supposed to take you seriously. I'm aware he's a tough guy,
Yeah.
did MMA, legitimate college wrestler, really good. But as a professional wrestler, the lisp hurts.
Okay.
The lisp hurts bad. It's just like when you see him going, on your knees. It's just, I don't know. I just go, not for me, sir.
I just think he's got such a smunty face.
Oh, it's King Smunt.
Oh, it's
wonderfully
it's
smunty.
great for the role he's playing. But I just look at his face and I get annoyed.
Oh, no, it's great. I agree.
No,
You've got a
so-
natural heel face.
Yes.
It's brilliant.
Yes.
Let me think. So I would have probably, if I'm being honest, been in the corner of MVP on this one.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he was never even a spectacular wrestler, but he was serviceable, and I really quite liked the character, weirdly.
Okay.
But anyway, we'll see how it actually unfolded.
Won't we?
I can't help but think when I look at Jack Swagger at this moment in time, how he would better suit the name Biff.
Okay.
He just looks like a Biff, doesn't
Okay.
he? Biff Thwagger. I think that's good. Sell it. It's a good name.
Sell it.
Sell it. Next out is a far less roidy looking Carlito with apple in hand. Also, much more bored looking Carlito.
Very.
Holly, remember when The Miz used to do that shark fin?
Yeah, I hated it.
Dare I say, Shark Boy like?
Oh, don't even.
I'm just saying.
Yes.
Did Shark Boy not do the same thing?
Yeah.
And he was doing it earlier. Just saying. I assume it was solely because he had a mohawk.
Yeah.
Cool. King says that Miz claims to have been... Oh, sorry, you've got very animated there. I thought you were going to...
Just
Okay.
listening.
No, cool. King says that Miz claims to have been given the key to the city for Cleveland. King also tells us that the following day they changed the locks.
It's quite fun.
That was good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Only time I think I noticed something he says on commentary. So there you go. Commentary also inform us that replacing the Big Show in this match is Primo.
Who?
Who is keen to get revenge on Carlito.
Are they... They're not related. Are they?
You serious?
What do you mean, am I serious?
Is that a genuine question, or
Yes.
it's can't say? No, they're brothers.
Are they actually?
They're actually brothers.
Because they called them brothers, but they called Kane and Undertaker brothers for like 20 years.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, no, Kane and Undertaker
And
brothers.
Christian and Edge.
Mate,
so...
they're called the Brothers of Destruction. They can't be just brothers if they're not actually brothers. So
Okay.
so don't ruin things for me. But yes, Carlito and Primo are the sons
They're
of Carlos
actually brothers.
Colon.
Right,
yes.
okay.
And
Thanks
they've
for
got
answering my question.
and I wasn't sure if you were doing a bit there and I
No.
just missed it. Well, they've also got a cousin as well, Epico.
Right. Okay.
Do you remember the Matadors?
No.
Oh, we've got some shit that we need to watch.
No. If this was all around this time,
It was a little bit after this
then
time.
no.
But yeah, there was so Primo and Epico both started dressing like matadors with matador masks on. So yeah, Epico is their cousin.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, that's something to really regret mentioning and thinking about later on this evening. A very good reception for MVP, who is the penultimate entrant into this match before, last but not least, the defending champion, Kofi Kingston. Or as my phone wanted to call him a lot, Coffee Kingston, after initially getting Kofi right.
Oh, okay.
Kofi Kingston right the first time, right the second time, every other time it thought I meant coffee.
Brilliant.
Why, when I'm not correcting you, would you then change up the script?
I don't know.
Livid. Not the best nickname.
That's brilliant.
The best change of name we'll get to later.
Oh, yes, you did tell me.
I did tell you this one
Yes.
because I thought you'd like it.
Yeah, I did.
As you can see, Holly, at this time, coffee. Kofi was still pretending to be Jamaican. Jamaican coffee, by the way, is brilliant. I had some yesterday, in fact. Very nice. Blue Mountain. Would recommend if you're a coffee fan out there and haven't tried it. I prefer this version of Kofi.
Okay.
All I'm saying. Tough odds for the champion in this six-pack challenge, and I am already angry thinking about my notes. The bell sounds, so let chaos reign, I guess. Carlito quickly rolls to the outside, and as Primo looks to follow, Miz attempts a schoolboy pin that is broken up by Kofi. Swagger and MVP begin trading right hands before the All-American counters a body slam attempt with a schoolboy of his own. Kofi, once again, is in there to break it up, defending his title. Miz whips Primo to the ropes, but he slides under in order to chase his brother. Carlito re-enters the ring and avoids the Miz, who instead connects with a knee and neckbreaker combination on Primo. Kofi is once again on the scene to break up the pin. Carlito sends Miz face first into the buckles, but finds his whip of Kofi reversed. Dropped down and leapfrog by the champion, who then scores with a reverse leapfrog before knocking Carlito out of the air with a back elbow after the Puerto Rican. Why can't I say this? Puerto Rican. Jesus, that was really tough.
Yeah.
It's because it reads Puerto, but it's
Okay,
we would say Porto. Anyway, had sprung off the middle rope and actually looked like on the landing Kofi had injured himself there. It was a great sell if it didn't hurt him.
Really was.
Swagger and Miz conduct a beatdown of Primo in the corner until he begins to fight back with southpaw, lefts, and one jumping headbutt. If you're also interested in interesting typos, instead of southpaw, it often puts southport.
I did wonder if that was the thing.
Yep.
Okay.
Several times it's done that to me, but that's fine. Swagger whips Primo back into the buckles, but runs into a big boot, from where Primo connects with a second rope leaping Hurricane Rana. Clothesline to Miz by Primo knocks him down. Swagger counters a whip from Primo and manages to avoid the springboard crossbody, which instead wipes out Miz. Near fall, although I'm sure Swagger was supposed to interfere sooner, as he instead just lands on the Miz awkwardly.
It looked odd.
It did. Unnecessary cartwheel by Primo, who connects with a drop kick to Swagger. He avoids a clothesline by Kofi and drops him with a back elbow. Primo staggers in as Kingston kips up into a Hurricane Runner, and it sends him right into a gut wrench powerbomb. Very nice.
Yes.
A pin attempt is made but broken up by Carlito. Carlito is whipped into the ropes and once again tries to spring to the second rung, but finds himself pushed over the top and down to the floor by the All-American. MVP charges in, but is sidestepped and finds himself on the apron. Swagger looks to hit the ropes, allowing MVP to re-enter and throw him overhead with a release belly to belly. As Swagger rolls to the outside, MVP follows him out with a falling double axe handle. Yay! Bye. Numerous rights from the former champion, but his whip is reversed, and instead it is he that is sent back first into the barricade. In the ring, we can just about see Kofi use his legs while sat on the top rope to pendulum Miz over the rope and down to the outside with him. Swagger begins shouting in the face of MVP as they clearly await something to happen, and just as I say that, here comes Carlito with a springboard sent on off the top rope down onto MVP.
Barely.
I mean, for a man who doesn't look interested, he made me interested. That was good.
Made me nervous.
Oh yeah, nervous for sure. Could you imagine this Roydy Carlito doing it now?
No.
That's not cool. Back in the ring, Kofi pulls himself between the middle and bottom ropes to kick Miz in the face. That's interesting. Swagger pulls him back onto the apron and eats a kick to the face before Kingston heads to the top rope and scores with a missile drop kick. The double leg drop... but there is a break up. Oh yeah, the double leg drop. So he does the boom, boom, boom double leg drop.
Yeah.
Connects, but Miz is there to break up the pinfall. Kingston is sent sternum first into the buckles and eats a clothesline before Miz shifts his attention to connect with a mid-rope seated clothesline on Swagger in the corner. He climbs to the top rope but is cut off by Primo. Kofi and Primo join Miz up top looking for a double team superplex, and now Jack Swagger adds to the Tower of Doom.
Sometimes I find these things a little bit impressive.
Yep.
I just don't know if it's because of all the people involved.
Probably.
That I was just a bit like, I know it's coming and I'm not bothered by it.
It was a box tick.
Hurry up and get it done.
Felt like a box tick
Yes.
rather than it logically makes sense.
Because there's that many people in there. Yeah, let's just do it.
I think that's... I can't remember where I heard it, but I heard someone discussing the theory about these type of multi-man matches, and specifically when it comes to like ladder matches and stuff like that, where instead of actually focusing on using the ladder in a way that logically makes sense
Yeah.
as a weapon, they go, right, we need to find a way to get to this particular spot. We need to find a way to, rather than going like, if you look at the WrestleMania 10 ladder match between Razor and Shawn, everything they do with the ladder pretty much makes sense and is something that you would actually try and do to hurt someone. Yeah. Whereas now it's like, okay, well, how can I wedge this ladder into this to lean it on that to then, and you go,
climb
you
up
wouldn't
to the top to then just tip over the side
to fall
jump
on
onto
it.
someone else. But it's actually I could have just climbed the ladder and got the belt and be done.
Yeah, and it's kind of like a car crash match. Whereas we want to have like chaos, but the right kind of chaos,
logical chaos.
Exactly, and I felt like you're right. That particular move is often like a box ticks. We've done that move on.
Yeah.
Carlito slides back into the ring and connects with a seated dropkick on Swagger before making the cover on Kofi. Not enough for 3, so now he covers The Miz and we get the same result. An exasperated Carlito leans against the ropes and finds himself grabbed by MVP and reverse guillotined over the top rope. MVP lands right hands on Miz until a handful of leotard pulls him face first into the turnbuckles. Primo whips his brother to the ropes and Carlito sails overhead from the second rope springboard moonsault, landing on his feet, and the two men collide with stereo crossbodies moments later. Swagger whips Kofi into the buckles but misses on the corner splash. Kingston connects with a flying sausage and unloads right hands until Swagger walks him away in the powerbomb position. The champ lands on his feet but is picked out of the air and driven into the ground by the All-Americans, like a wrestling takedown amateur. Fine. Miz is elevated over the top and down to the floor by MVP before the former champion sends both himself and Swagger crashing over the opposite ropes with a crossbody. Carlito and Kingston are left in the ring and the champ secures a sunset flip off a whip. Carlito reverses into a pin of his own but is quickly countered himself by a springboard sunset flip from his brother. Kingston grabs Primo and pulls him into a crucifix pin that almost sneaks in the victory. The three men stare at one another until Carlito looks to reunite with his brother and double team the champ. He holds him in the full Nelson position, but as Primo hits the ropes, he is tripped by Swagger. Carlito shifts his approach and drops Kingston with a side Russian leg sweep. The Colognes, although as it looks here, the Colons, double team whip Swagger in the ropes, but he ducks under their clothesline and scores with a pair of his own. Big right hand from the All-American knocks the Miz off the apron, and we hear a comical trombone sound in the crowd. I was like, where's Xavier Woods? Yeah. MVP with a double chop to the throat, and he follows up with a facebuster on the All-American. He hits the ropes and drops the ball-in elbow. As MVP looks to secure the playmaker on Swagger, Miz simultaneously delivers the skull-crushing finale, and is only stopped from getting the 3 by the Cologne brothers. Miz gets tossed over the top rope and down to the outside. Carlito negotiates with his younger brother again and points him towards MVP before delivering a backstabber to his sibling. Before Carlito can capitalise, from behind, Kingston connects with a Trouble in Paradise kick and hooks the leg for the 1, 2, 3. Kofi Kingston retains the United States title by pinfall. Ollie, what do you think?
This one really, I just put it was actually hard to score for me because
I get that.
I didn't really particularly have anyone in particular that I was vying for.
Fair.
But there was a lot going on, but also not at the same time, if that makes sense.
It makes perfect sense, actually.
Yeah, I don't know. I gave it a 2.5 because I didn't hate it, so I just put it mid-card. But yeah, it was really weird because it was a bit like, I know there is something going on at every time, but also not a lot. I don't know how to verbalise it. It's just a bit weird.
I think there was without putting words in your mouth, there's probably a bit of apathy there because you didn't care.
Yeah.
There was no one there that you went, oh, I really hope this person wins. Yeah. So you weren't invested. So for you, it's just like flipping through a catalogue of wrestling moves until it finished. Yeah. So you're like, it's not bad, but I'm not invested.
All. Yeah, no one did anything either where I went, that was amazing.
My score is probably going to be a little bit surprising to you. I went 3.25.
Okay.
I think this went even up from the match that I saw before.
Wow, okay.
Because I was so unenthused going into this match that this so massively over-delivered from my low expectations that I went, it was above average. There was only one moment where Swagger should have interfered on a pin, which was poorly done. Everything else actually flowed pretty well for the most part. There was no moment where I was just like, oh, no, sorry. There was MVP and Swagger where Carlito came over the top. But the annoyance of them going, oh, let's wait here for a sec, was wiped out by what Carlito did.
Yeah.
But I thought it was pretty good.
Okay.
And I could not believe how well it flowed.
Fair.
Which I think is a compliment to whoever put the match together for a start. And also, I have to give credit to the 6 people in the match because realistically, I didn't care who won.
Yeah.
But I was invested enough that I thought, you know what, I'll give it 3.25.
Yeah, absolutely.
So far, I've just been going on the Jurassic Park ride. When you get to the end, you just go... So I've been doing that, which suggests at some point, I'm going to then just do the dead-ass drop.
Probably.
Guess time will tell. Following the conclusion of this match, we head backstage to the interview area where Josh Matthews welcomes the WWE Champion, Randy Orton. Harley, thoughts?
Yeah. Attractive man. Not yet.
Not yet?
Not yet.
I know what it is. Oh,
okay.
I'll mention it later on.
Oh, he's got great thighs at this point.
Wonderful thighs.
Ridiculous.
Wonderful thighs. And yet, they're not as big as... Was it Triple H's thighs were massive, but they're different. Randy Orton's thighs look better.
More toned.
Yes.
Yeah.
But Triple H's...
More definition.
Triple H is tearing him every 4 weeks, isn't he? Yeah. Josh highlights the fact that Legacy were unsuccessful earlier in the night and questions Randy on how he'll be preparing for his main event. Well, I say main event. Orton, first of all, wants to clarify that what happened to Ted and Cody earlier tonight was completely unfair and nobody could have predicted that the Big Show would be the surprise tag team partner for Jericho. Check the booking sheet. Orton says, by the way, autumn as in the season. Orton says that were his match a singles contest, he would guarantee that he would beat either Triple H or John Cena. But under triple threat rules, he could lose his title without even being pinned. Randy is counting on the egos of his 2 opponents to cancel each other out. If that happens, he will emerge victorious. Orton now turns to face the camera and says to the fans that one day, maybe they will stop disrespecting him. But until then, he will remain the WWE Champion. So the moment we respect him, he loses? Ooh. Is that what he's saying?
Oh.
To be fair, fine with the promo. Thought it was actually alright.
Yeah.
Pretty good, to be fair. And you got a chance to see very glistening Randy Orton standing ready backstage.
Yep.
But we don't go to the WWE title match just yet.
No, we don't.
No, we go to something that on paper does not please me.
No.
It doth butter, no parsnips.
Okay.
And that is the women's title match. Or as you would probably call it, the what match?
Beer run match.
There it is. In this match, Michelle McCool versus Melina.
Yep.
Give me your initial take.
I like Michelle McCool.
I know you do. You really do.
Yeah, I really do. Really do.
Yeah?
But Melina I don't have any time for. Probably because I barely watched anything that she's ever done.
Not necessarily a bad thing, if I'm putting it out there.
But I did assume, this will not be great.
Yeah, I thought that was a fair assumption. If I'm being honest, Michelle McCool has had passable matches. I mean, it sounds like I'm having a dig, but in terms of my enjoyment, not much, certainly not much that Melina's done have I enjoyed.
Yeah.
Michelle McCool, I've enjoyed more matches, but would I say she's a great wrestler? No. I think, though, had she been along in the current era, she'd have adapted. She'd have adapted and done well.
Yeah.
But she was probably one of the better ones in the WWE from the women's wrestling side. I'd say Mickie James is your top one.
Yeah, for sure.
And then Michelle McCool is probably just under that level, and everything else, because I don't think Natty had come around just yet. I think she's next year. Everything else is dross. Yeah. Like, really bad. Yeah. Like, this was a dark period for me. Like, as much as we talk about how bad women's wrestling was at certain periods, it was around this time where I was annoyed when it was on, because I was like, I don't want to see this.
There's no real quality to it.
And I was beyond the phase of, if we're being blunt, going, that's got tits, let's have a wank, kind of thing. Like, it was beyond that phase for me. I wanted to actually see good wrestling, or good anything, really. And I remember being, at the time, genuinely, I felt bad for Mickie James, because I was like, you've got to work with this.
Yeah.
And like Gail Kim, I think, was round here maybe a year or two before this. And again, she was very good. And just, it's not good. So to say that my expectations were through the floor for this one would have been an understatement.
Okay.
And I thought, do you know what? The first 3 matches were okay, if not over-delivered from what I expected. This is where we're going to come crashing down.
Okay. Yeah. Especially when you see who comes up first and upsets you. You noticed this one, right?
Let me see if I do. Okay, yes, I did.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Correct me if I'm wrong, Holly, but you really like Michelle McCool, didn't you?
That's correct. Yes, I do.
To be fair, she probably had a fairly similar athletic build to yourself around that time. I think that's fair. But would you not say that? Because it sounds like Michelle McCool, in an era, let's be fair, where it's all about TNA and stuff. Michelle,
it's nice to look at a woman and be like, you don't have tits stuck on you, and she actually looked a bit more athletic,
yes,
rather than I'm just here for tits and arse.
Yeah,
yes,
which is why I think that was probably you were more inclined to her potentially, but that's just my speculation. As the women's champion makes her way down to the ring, which I will again state annoys me that she comes down first, we see footage of how she won the women's title against Melina at the Bash, making her the first woman to hold both the women's title and the Divas title. We head to footage from SmackDown where Melina informs Michelle that she has invoked her rematch clause for Night of Champions and asks her to shine that puppy up nicely. Where's King? For her, as the women's title is coming home. It's coming. The women's title is coming home. Melina offers one final piece of advice. Michelle could use a little more makeup. As she tosses, I'm going to say foundation?
Sure, I'll give it to you. I'd probably say it's more of a bronzer because it's a little orange base.
Okay, fine.
But, who knows?
I'm just guessing because I know brown powder tends to be foundation. Over the champion. Good news, Holly. She also does hair. She tells us that. Holly, does Melina have one of the greatest entrances in women's wrestling history?
I don't mind it. I think it's fun.
Yeah?
But
it's funnier when she misses.
Yes.
Either way, I'll say this. That gear is outstanding.
Okay.
Michelle McCool, good gear.
Yeah.
Melina is the maroon, and it's actually quite reserved for her.
Yeah, it's just the cutouts on the legs and stuff. Yeah, it's all
Love
right.
the colour. Thought the pattern on it was great. Genuinely went, oh, that's quite good.
Yeah.
And I was like, now I'm not going to enjoy the rest, but that bit was fine.
Okay.
So I was literally making notes. I'm thinking, what positives can I put for this? And I
fair.
thought, do you know what? I'll go with that.
Okay.
No sooner has Melina hit the splits on the apron, a baseball drop kick sends her sprawling to the floor and she lands hard. Melina returns to the ring and looks remarkably calm as the referee signals for the bell to be rung. Whose corner were you in? Michelle's?
Yeah.
Yeah. The official fights himself.
Ooh, fights himself.
Yeah. That's what it says.
Oh.
The official finds himself in the middle, which allows the challenger to tackle the champion to the canvas as the bell sounds. Mounted forearms by Melina, and when they return to their feet, she matrixes out the way of a clothesline, and I forgot she did that.
Yeah.
Very good. Fine with that. Sloppy arm drag takes Michelle down, but she lands on her opponent's leg. Arm lock in place, and Melina scores with some elbows to the side of the head. Michelle is whipped into the corner and eats a rope-assisted back kick to the... I finished the sentence. She should have left it at one... What? Oh, yeah, back kick. Oh, God, I remember.
Look good.
In the corner. It was like swinging back kicks to the midsection. And I put here, she should have left it at one, however, as the rest that follow are really bad.
That's correct. They are.
Big right hand sends the champion out of the ring, only to be returned... Only need to be returned by a handful of hair. Only then to be... There you go. Fucking these notes on this one.
Ooh.
Only need to be returned by a handful of hair. Now Michelle looks to escape the ring out the other side, but she is quickly pounced upon and kept in the confines of the squared circle. Michelle is backing off on her knees, with her hands up, much like Ric Flair, but she still eats a seated dropkick. The challenger hits the ropes and lands on her feet on a satellite head scissors, but does connect with a back kick to the midsection. Big kick to the face sends the champion over the middle rope, but she moves out of the way as Melina charges and she goes flying between the top and middle ropes and down to the floor. The champion, Raymond. The champion shoves the seated challenger towards the barricade and then runs a knee into the side of her head. They return to the ring where Michelle gets a count of 2. Series of knees to the spine and we get another count of 2. Single-legged Boston Crab, which thanks to the knee placement of the champion has the challenger folded pretty much in half.
Yeah, that's good.
With her own foot inches away from the top of her head.
Oh, okay. You like that, huh?
No, I just thought it was a really good move.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Todd Grisham points out... what?
You're funny.
Thank you. Todd Grisham points out Michelle's past as being a former school teacher, and he says, I quote, "Must be something nice to look at for the students. But you don't want to get on her bad side." Okay, thanks, Todd. It might be the most painful angled crab I've ever seen. God damn, that woman is flexible.
Yeah, for sure.
She eventually makes the ropes and crawls away onto the apron, but is pulled so that her torso is resting back first over the middle rope, and she eats a big knee to the back. Kick to the spine, and the challenger drops to the floor, but moves out of the way of a charging big boot that sees Michelle crotch herself over the barricade. What's this? Is that a twat guillotine?
Yeah, I was just thinking,
Yeah.
It's so much easier to write a dick guillotine.
It is, isn't it? Melina joins her, so both women are standing, and as they look to get their balance, the champion hooks the head and connects with a DDT that we'll all pretend saw Melina hit headfirst on the barricade.
Yeah, if you close your eyes a little bit, maybe.
It's Faye tried.
Yeah.
McCall returns to the ring and looks happy with her work as the referee begins the count. Somehow the challenger makes it back to the ring, and she grapevines the second rope, causing the champion to miss their intended baseball slide and winds up on the floor outside. Very good.
Yes, I like that.
Very good. I will say there's more creativity in this match than I'd expected.
Yep.
From the apron, Melina wraps her legs around the head of Michelle and shoves her down with boots to the face. That was actually just me running out of breath, I'll be honest. Yeah, although it was time well, I was like, mummy. She jumps off the apron and drives Michelle face first into the mats with a face buster. They return to the ring where Michelle scores with a big kick but finds herself tripped over and onto the second rope. 6-1. Oh, sorry, that's later. This time, Melina scores with charging knees to the back, and she runs the champion back first into the buckles. Scorpion kick to the face connects, and the champion is laid across the middle ropes in the corner where she takes a pair of knees to the midsection from the top.
I always find that move one of many, but that move especially as well. It's like, okay, I'll just lie here for 2 minutes while you get up there. She's like, just move out of the way.
Better than the Randy Orton DDT.
Yeah.
Scorpion kick. Terrible back heel kick attempt. I think that's what she was going for. From Melina, and she makes the cover, but only 2. Michelle reverses a whip and counters with a belly-to-belly suplex that gets a near fall. Melina gets run back first into the buckles, but swings her legs up to wrap around the neck of the champion before driving her calf down into the top of her head. From the second rope, she connects with a flying muffin, which gets her a count of 1 until McCall reverses the position and folds her in half to get the 1, 2, 3. Michelle McCall retains the women's title by pinfall. Holly, tell me what you thought about the match.
I thought it was all right. I thought it started off, I was, again, low expectation. And I also thought this is going to be done in like a minute. Like maybe it'll be one of these matches where they give them like an allotment of like 2 minutes. But it got better. It got progressively better. And I'm glad it was the length that it was, because if it was any longer, it would have been horrendous, I think. But it was all right. Fun. I gave it a 2 out of 5.
I'll put my cards on the table for this one. I thought if you told me that I would have gone over 1 star for this match, I'd have laughed at you.
Yeah.
I would have thought half a star, and I thought the same as you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it'll be a minute, some schmoz happens, it's over, the end. 2.25.
Nice. Okay.
Was it... The reason I didn't give it 2.5, because I debated it, was there are a few moments like Melina's back kicks weren't quite right.
No.
The DDT clearly missed by a mile. But I thought, to give them credit, Melina tried here, and I don't remember her trying much in matches, apart from my patience.
God loves a trier.
And God loves a trier and that outfit. But seriously, I don't want to say impressed.
No, but if you have a super low expectation, anything above that expectation, it's great.
But I was, 2.25, and I don't feel bad, even in hindsight, giving it that.
Fair.
And I never thought I'd give a Melina match a 2.25.
Who'd have thought it, eh?
Hey, well, I'm looking forward to the next Melina match now.
Oh, don't do that for too long.
Well, no, it will happen, then I'll go, that shit. Back to blindly wanking again, here we are.
Blindly wanking. There's your t-shirt.
Back to blindly wanking. Yeah, there you go. I mean, it's a tough one to wear in public, I'll be honest.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, you can't pick up your kid wearing that.
No.
The cameras now take us backstage where we see John Cena contemplating his upcoming match. Dare I say, an element of doubt creeps across his face as he kisses his dog tags and places them under his t-shirt. Mm-hmm. We now transition into an on-screen promo for the upcoming triple threat match for the WWE title. I have to say, Holly, I'm shocked that this was not the last match on the card. Were you surprised?
Very, actually.
Because we were like bang in the middle of the show at this point.
Yeah, considering who's in it, I was like, oh, we're doing this now?
Yep.
A little bit of fear did creep into my mind of going, oh God, right, how many have I got left? This and this, thinking this can't be super, super long.
Because I said this was halfway through the show, but there was only... Oh, no, there was...
It's match
three...
number 3, right? And then there's 3 after it,
No,
isn't there?
this is match number 5.
Oh, is it?
So match number 5 and there's 3 after it.
Okay.
I think. But I remember looking at it going, they're going to eat up a lot of time with this. And they ate up a decent amount of time, but I don't think it was a detrimental amount of time to the overall show. The VT package kicks into life and we get taken back to 3 weeks ago on Monday Night Raw. There it was the final for the Night of Champions tournament, a match between John Cena and Triple H. The footage that plays in slow motion makes it seem like it's 2 gladiators fighting to the death, right up until Legacy interfere. Remember that. Randy Orton appears at the top of the aisle and declares that the match is a double disqualification and therefore there is no winner. He has a monotonous tone to his talk when he goes on like this. It works better for him because he's sexy.
Is that what it is?
It is, yeah, because, I mean, I do it and you're like, oh, shut up, you fat, boring idiot. Whereas he do it and you're like, ooh.
Oh, I don't hang on every word he says.
You'd hang on something else. This means that he will
God.
not be facing... Oh, you've changed. Come on.
Yeah.
This means that... Yeah, you have. You're a different person now, yeah. This means that he will not be facing either of those 2 men at Night of Champions.
Oh, I get a night off.
You get an... Oh, he gets a night off. I was from what?
No, but like, you know, it's so stupid, but it's like you hear it, you go, okay.
You just don't want to get paid. Okay, cool.
All right.
Yeah,
stay
fine.
home.
Yeah, fine. With what... no. With that, the special guest host of Monday Night Raw, the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, makes his appearance and says that although Randy says neither man won, Ted prefers to look at it as neither man having lost, and therefore declares that a Night of Champions it will be a triple threat match. Now, for me, that is slightly stepping outside of your jurisdiction, because you are the special guest host of Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw, not Sunday in 3 weeks, whatever the fuck it is. Fuck you. So I'll be honest, I've been asked to keep that part in, so...
It's funny.
Well, I'm glad it was funny, because I couldn't breathe for a moment, but back to the point, Ted DiBiase Sr.
Yes.
overstepping his bounds.
That's all right. Do you know why I liked it?
Why?
The look he gives to his son is brilliant.
What is the look he gives to his son?
So it's a look I've seen many, many times. It's that disapproving, unhappy look of, oh, what have you done?
Well, I'll tell you what, if you did the odd case right, I'd then look at you a little bit differently, wouldn't I? But, yeah, because he's not siding with his family, is he?
No.
Oh, well, there you go. Cena builds up this match as being massive, and 2 years ago at WrestleMania, it was indeed the main event. Ooh. Orton quickly reminds him of what actually happened in that main event. He emerged victorious. History will repeat itself at Night of Champions. Triple H says he doesn't care who he has to hurt or who he has to go through to regain the WWE title. I will say, does actually have a bit of a big match feel to it, this one.
A little bit.
Which, not say I was surprised by, but I was impressed by the fact that I actually went, oh, do you know, I care a little bit actually here, even in hindsight.
Big Match John is there.
Big Match John is there with full head of hair John.
Yes.
Long, stringy haired, spitty water Triple H.
Yes.
And electric thighs Randy Orton is...
it's... Right, this isn't me even perving. This is me just
Cut the shit.
impressed by the physique. He just stands there and it's like you can see every muscle and tendon in his thighs. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I'll be honest, you kind of ruined, like, watching... I forgot he had a face.
Oh.
I'll be honest.
Now you just look at his legs.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, although he's a heel, to be fair, in this one. So,
yep.
Randy Orton versus Triple H versus John Cena for the WWE title. Oh, my God. Holly, who the fuck are you siding with on this?
This was hard to pick.
I bet it was.
Do you know what? If Cena had come out
pumps
wearing his pump up trainers,
I knew that was going to be the swinger.
He'd have got this all day long.
I think you're going to go Triple H.
Yeah, you'd be right.
Really?
Yeah, you'd be right.
Oh dear.
He was He was wearing all the right gear.
Yep.
His hair was
Sodden.
sopping wet.
Sopping.
The intro was everything.
Yep.
Yeah, that's where my loyalties were.
Okay. Wow. Making his way to the ring first is John Cena, and Holly, the big question here is whose corner are you in? You've already answered that.
Yeah.
The second man out to the ring is the dripping wet Triple H, which means that pleasingly the title holder is the last man to enter. I approve.
I don't think he's ready though, or someone is doing a bad job at this event.
Oh, no. As Triple H is pandering to the fans on the second rope, the camera heads to John Cena, and it looks like he says, "This is going to be a long night." Don't know if you caught that, but that's what it looked like he said. There is a bit of a delay before we hear the music of the champion. Perhaps a bit of mind games.
I would have agreed if it didn't happen later.
I thought that was mind games as well.
Ooh.
As the challengers await, they go face to face in the middle of the ring and exchange a few words. Like, what are you doing after the show? Two burgers?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're going in and out.
Yeah.
I think they're going in and out.
All the protein.
Speaking of in and out, we still have juicy thighs yet to come. Holly, but his face is positively juvenile.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's the boy face on the man's body.
Yep. It's not
with the girl's
not
tan.
hitting for quite a while.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I was like, you look like a child. Is it like the
He's got a baby.
Hey Lemmy, and then doing the rock on sign with the tongue that comes down to his chest? That might be the biggest ick thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Has that ruined Orton a little bit for you?
I can get over it, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's good for you. Do you know what? You have always been someone who's gone for second chances. I think understanding, lenient, Mother Teresa-like, quite frankly, is my co-host.
Wow.
No, seriously, I think it's great.
Yeah, I'm well aware of my faults and flaws.
No, it's not your faults and flaws, because you give, like, I'll tell you what, if you're good looking, God, you'll get some chances. If you look, if you look like you're on the back of the short bus, Holly runs out of Ted DiBiase. Just let's think about some of the other ones.
Okay, I see what you're doing.
X-Pac, Jimmy Hart. Jimmy Hart is driving the bus. That's what I'm saying. Right, but no.
How mean.
Randy Orton is absolutely fine in every respect. Give me a detailed breakdown.
Of what?
Just everything that your eyes are taking in this one. Where are they dancing around the ring?
There's a lot of things to take in.
There's
right
a
now.
lot of things.
There's a lot.
Lots
There's
of beef.
a lot going on.
Lot of beef to be selected at the counter.
It really was. And it's the spinning belt.
Oh,
I thought you'd have mentioned it, I'll be honest.
I can't.
I know you hate it.
I do. I think at this point, I don't think it was still spinning though.
No, I'm pretty sure it was like, it didn't move.
Yeah,
anymore.
we get this title for still a good few years yet, and I just...
But it moves previously, right?
Yeah, it did,
When, I'm not going to say the word because I'll get it wrong, but when...
No, say it. Say it right.
Doctor.
Fuck off, you definitely do it on purpose.
Doctor.
Yes,
of
Doctor.
Economics. Has it?
What did you say first? Master. But also...
Master would be so much better than
Doctor's
Doctor.
2 more years.
Oh, yeah, but I don't care about that. Like, it
Okay,
just better.
if you need to go to the doctors, would you rather see a master or would you rather see a doctor?
Well, really, I don't know.
Yeah, you don't care.
I mean...
But also, yeah, after Cena, Edge still had a spinny number.
Oh, okay.
He had the rated R one very briefly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was a thing that happened. One thing that is for certain, though, Holly, is he certainly found that baby oil. With all the competitors in the ring, Lillian Garcia gives the formal introductions. The bell sounds and we are underway. Very cautious opening as nobody makes the first move. Perhaps wisely, though, Randy Orton drops to his knees and slithers his way back outside of the ring to leave the two challengers to face off. Instead, however, both men nod in agreement and leave on opposite sides of the ring to corner the champion by the commentary tables. Orton decides to roll back into the ring where he's once again surrounded by his two challengers. Randy fakes throwing a punch at Cena, instead turning to swing at the game, who blocks the attempt and lands with a number of his own. Orton gets whipped to the ropes but grabs on and looks to make an escape. But Cena, although it's got here, Tina.
Oh.
Cena had anticipated this and levels him with a clothesline on the outside. Cena rolls Orton back into the ring where Triple H unloads with more right hands in the corner. Corner whip is reversed, but Orton runs into the raised boot and then staggers into a bulldog by Cena. Right hand from the game, right hand from Cena. Kick and punch from Triple H sends the champion rolling out of the ring, looking for a moment's respite. Orton looks to take his leave for a second time, but is blindsided by Cena from behind. Face first into the guardrail goes Orton, and more right hands rain down from the game. Cena rolls Orton back into the ring, but as he climbs onto the apron, he's knocked off and he collides face first with Triple H on the floor.
Shocking. I never thought that would happen.
I know. Orton heads to the outside and retrieves Cena, depositing him back in the ring. Methodical right hands land, as does a kick to the chest. With Cena on his knees, he continues to eat punches, kicks and stomps, and now the champion is landing mounted right hands. Triple H looks to climb onto the apron. He was down for a while, wasn't he?
He was on a little rest.
Yeah, he was, but eats a punch and is kicked back down to the floor. Cena ducks a clothesline off a whip and connects with a shoulder tackle and a second before ducking a wild swing and connecting with his back suplex variant. The former Doctor of Thugonomics. Oh no, because I didn't think to check that and it's changed the word.
Oh dear.
The former Doctor of Economics.
Oh.
Raises his Doctor of Economics as a t-shirt.
Isn't it, right?
That's got to be a t-shirt. The Doctor of Thugonomics raises his hand into the... And it's Cena, like in a full like silhouette, lab coat, like kind of thing. And what else? Like a stethoscope?
Economic. What is?
No, that's just a doctor, isn't
economics
it?
Would be with
Well,
a
the
calculator,
suit doesn't
right?
work. Oh yeah, bank account? But how can you put that on a t-shirt? We've got some thinking to do. A briefcase.
Holding up a briefcase marker.
Senor El Banco.
Ooh.
Briefcase. Oh dear, I've lost that. I just want him to dress as a doctor now.
Yeah, all right.
And I'll work about the...
Okay.
Yeah, he takes the thermometer the old school way.
Yeah, I bet he does.
He takes the thermometer.
I bet he takes it.
Yeah, I bet he does.
I bet he does.
Yeah, I bet he does. Anyway, enough to think about where Cena puts his penis. From behind, that is the next line. Face first into the guard goes Orton, more right hands, with Cena on his knees, he continues, Cena ducks clothesline, suplex, there you go. The former doctor of the economics, it says, raises his hand into the air before signalling that Orton can't see him, and connects with a 5-knuckle shuffle.
I thought it was a bit early for that.
It did feel a bit premature for a 5-knuckle shuffle. As I get a text... What?
I know, I've seen it, and I've put that's what it is, but it's just funny.
Because you just
It's a bit
heard...
early for a 5-knuckle
You
shuffle.
heard that as me saying it's too early for a wank, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, the sun's still out. Come on, we've got to have some decorum.
It's 6:20 on a Monday.
And we're
Who does
recording.
that, eh?
And we're recording.
Yeah,
Imagine.
that'd be a bit awkward.
That'd be... How awkward would that
That'd
be?
be really freaking awkward.
I'll tell you what, the noises coming across the bloody thing then
I
would be
would
horrendous.
I have to obviously leave the room and leave you to it.
Well, yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah, imagine you just going, and then Randy Orton does this and you just hear like...
That's so weird and so gross.
Gross, thanks.
No,
it's fine.
You
It's
know what I
fine.
mean.
To be fair, I can't imagine it's a pretty sight, to be honest. Just bestial and... Oh, it's just got to be horrendous. Oh, dear. Oh, God, I've just given
my
myself...
face hurts from laughing.
I'll give myself the ick about the thought of me wanking. That's horrendous. Oh dear. Anyway, hopefully people are enjoying their dinner if they're listening to this while
don't
they're...
do that.
Don't have the spam, for God's sake. Does anyone eat spam anymore?
I don't know.
Have you had spam?
Never.
No? Okay, fair enough.
Never.
Yeah, I don't like the look of it. I don't get the concept. Anyway, he lifts the champion. No, he lifts up the champion, looking for the attitude adjustment, but is prevented from doing so thanks to a kick to the midsection, and Triple H sends him shoulder first into the ring post and down to the outside.
Take that drink.
When the game returns to his attention, when the game returns his attention, he is levelled with a clothesline. Hook of the leg gets a near fall. Right hands and stomps to a down challenger in the corner, and now Randy is choking him with the sole of his shoe. Well-placed dropkick puts Triple H down, and we get another count of 2. Reverse chinlock applied by the champion as the pace remains slow. The game makes it back to his feet and punches his way free, and now the two men are trading right hands as the crowd cheer and boo depending on who lands. Whip is reversed by Orton, and he connects with a brilliant snap power slam. The champ is lying in wait as the game struggles to get to his feet, but the RKO is prevented and Orton is shoved off. Back elbow lands from the champion, but he walks right into a DDT, leaving both men down. Out of the periphery, we can see John Cena make his way to the top rope, and although he misses Orton by about 7.5 feet, both men sell that the leg drop connected.
Yeah.
They nearly caught that angle at a very bad perspective from the camera, and then they changed it so you didn't see how much he actually missed him by.
Yeah, even from the angle we see it, it does
Clearly
not
doesn't.
look good.
Yep. Right hands for everything that is moving from Cena, and the fans begin to boo. Reversal of a whip by the champion sees him connect with his unique neck breaker / back breaker, and Cena is once again on the outside. Holly's laughing.
They do make a little comment on
Do they now? Because I haven't got that. What do they say?
That they are targeting the surgically repaired neck of Mr. John Cena.
Are you telling me that John Cena has some sort of neck injury?
I might be. Did you know?
I did, yeah. I could see the scar. Still pretty fresh at that point.
He's on the list of the many people.
He's on many of your lists, to be fair, isn't he? Bless him.
Only at certain times.
Yeah. Pedigree attempt is prevented, and the game is sent over the top rope and down to the outside on a backdrop. All 3 men are down. Cena tries to make his way into the ring through the ropes, but is kicked in the chest, and moments later, Triple H joins him. Orton is looking to land DDTs, but is instead sent flying over the top and down to the outside after being elevated overhead.
I was going to say, I bet you were happy about that.
I did. Now we are left with the 2 challengers in the ring, who take a moment to stare at one another before looking around at the fans. I feel like they're trying to make this more of a moment than it actually is.
Yeah, it fell a little flat. For me, personally, anyway, this bit.
The crowd seemed okay with it, to be fair, but I didn't care. The 2 men exchange words before Triple H indicates that Cena can't see him. And now they exchange right hands.
It's so silly. Things like this, I will pick up on something that amuses me, which is pathetic.
But I'm just doing it in his promo voice.
That's exactly what he's doing.
You can't see me. Anyway.
Oh, God.
Boos and cheers alternate as the blows land. The punches get bigger, and Triple H looks to have won this battle. But he misses a clothesline off a whip and is dropped with a flying shoulder tackle. Second one lands too, but a high knee drop stops Cena in his tracks. Whip is reversed once more, but the game connects with a face buster before running into a kick to the gut. Cena scores with the throwback. Do you remember what that is? Where he jumps over, grabs the back of their neck and drives it face first into the throwback. I forgot what that was called.
Yes, thank you.
It was only from...
I put in here, I can't remember what on earth this is called.
I just remembered from seeing it there and went, oh yeah, of course, this. Driving the game face first into the canvas. Attitude adjustment is prevented, as is the pedigree, and Triple H is taken down to the floor where Cena looks to apply the STF but is kicked away. Second attempt at the attitude adjustment is blocked, and now Triple H connects with a spine buster. Pedigree connects and the game makes the cover, but it's pulled from underneath the bottom rope by the champion before the 3 can be made. Shoulder first into the ring steps goes Triple H, and now Orton is undressing the SmackDown announce table. Holly got excited until I said SmackDown announce table.
He's just undressing.
Yeah, not a lot to undress, really,
not,
to be fair.
Only got pants on.
And boots.
Yeah,
to be fair,
a while.
what would be worse? Him just taking his boots off. Well, it's definitely taking the pants and wearing the boots.
Yeah, that's
so unacceptable.
That's so
unacceptable.
Mm-mm.
If you're going to show everything, take the boots off first.
Yes.
Because imagine, no, we're imagining.
Oh, okay.
So he's got his boots, he's got his pants on.
Sure.
We know he's going to take everything off.
Right.
But if you take your pants off first and then your boots, there's no way to do that in a flattering
there's not.
way, is there?
No.
Because you're doing this and things are smacking off
not
each other.
cute.
No.
Not cute.
Especially with those thighs, he could probably pin it in place, to be fair.
Yeah, no, take the boots off first.
Do you reckon Randy Orton has done the mangina in a mirror? I think he has.
Haven't most guys?
I can neither confirm nor deny this attempt.
I'm sure it's a thing.
Within the last week. Yeah, no, we've definitely all done that, to be fair. And then you kind of walk around. I don't know why.
Okay.
You have to see if you could if it stays in place.
Could you do it? Could you live like that?
Yeah, and I couldn't, mainly because it's really small. So it came straight back out without knowing what was happening, to be fair. And then my mum was like, okay, this is a Christmas dinner. Can you stop doing this? I was like, fine. All right, okay. You play charades differently then, all right? You've changed.
What on earth would you have been acting out?
Mrs.
Doubtfire.
Oh, good shout. I was going to say something way more inappropriate, but yeah, that works. No,
okay.
Yeah, Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yeah.
Dude looks like a lady. And an ugly one at that for me. So Orton's undressing the smack. Oh, from Orton undressing an announce table.
No.
I wonder if he took a shit in anyone's bag this show. Face first on the Raw desk goes Triple H before being given the same treatment on the SmackDown table. Big low blow by Triple H finds its mark, and now he looks to deliver a pedigree to Orton through the table. Cena strikes his fellow challenger in the back before throwing Orton over the barricade and into the fans. Lucky front row people.
Very.
Triple H looks to pick up where he left off, but his pedigree attempt is countered and Cena applies the STF on the desk. Oh, it's shit.
I also was wondering, at what point does this table just collapse?
That would have been funny.
Because they're not like they are now, are they? Like these are like held together with sellotape.
Yeah, blue tack,
Purposefully.
chewing gum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I did think, imagine if it just collapses under the weight of these two guys.
Yeah, I could see it. Orton reappears and lands right hands to Cena to break the hold. The two men return to the ring where they exchange right hands, more alternating cheers and boos. Whip is reversed by Cena, but he ducks too early and eats a kick to the chest. Huge RKO attempt is blocked as Cena shoves Orton and sends him sailing across the ring to land hard on the back. Randy Orton made that look amazing.
Yes, he did.
Cena elevates Orton and sits him on the top rope before joining him up there looking to deliver a superplex. Holly, get your notes ready. Triple H is back on the scene and elevates Cena into the what's this position called, Holly?
I mean, I think I've got something written down wrong here.
Go on.
I've got slingshot written down. Electric chair first.
Electric chair position, there it is, before backing away from the buckles. Cena slips out of the back and looks to deliver an attitude adjustment but is prevented from doing so. Pedigree attempt is blocked and Cena catapults, or slingshots, your choice, the game to the buckles, knocking Orton off his perch, making him suffer a brutal
Dick Guillotine.
Dick Guillotine, there it is.
Those I remember.
Yeah, of course you do.
They're mine.
Triple H desperately fights the STF in the middle of the ring, but the hold is applied and looks as ineffective as ever.
You really don't like it, do you?
Oh, it looks shit. Doesn't
It's
look
the way he holds his
arms.
wrists so far away from anything.
It's like he's touching the side of their face and there's nothing here.
Yeah,
just make it look like you're pulling back. Make it look like you're doing what Big Show did to Ted DiBiase.
Yeah.
Just give me that.
Fair, yeah.
I genuinely don't think that's too much to ask for. Anyway, what do I know? I'm not a 17-time world champion.
Not yet. There's still time.
I mean, I think that shit might have
You
sailed.
never know. Never say never.
Scott's 18-time world champion. I couldn't even finish that as a thought, to be fair. I think I'd start with, I wouldn't want to go into. I think I'd just win the Royal Rumble first.
Oh, just casually.
Yeah. Who's going to be champion then? Because it won't be Cena because he'll be done.
Yeah.
I don't mind beating Rollins or Reigns if I have to.
Okay.
I think I could do that with the. What would I don't have a finishing move. I don't have any move.
No.
To be fair, I could do a few eye pokes.
Oh, boo.
Axe handle.
Boo.
Elbow.
Boo.
Fall on my face. Bring a whistle.
Get your mate Hebner in.
I'll tell you what, if Hebner's there, I could take over the world. I'll tell you that. Triple H desperately fights the STF in the middle of the ring, but the hold is applied. Oh, no. We've done that. Triple H tries to power himself out of the hold after receiving words in his ear from John, but the hold is reapplied back in the middle of the ring.
The more we... I'll be honest, and I don't mean this in the way it's probably going to sound. There's a lot of things I now watch with wrestling that have ruined the illusion for me. One being the pins, where you told me that they have their eyes open because they're watching, so now all I see is them watching. Another one is the amount that John Cena likes to talk people through every single thing that is happening.
Not talk, shout.
And I never really noticed it before. Now, it's all I notice.
He did it a lot with Cody.
Just annoying.
Do you remember when he did it at the Royal Rumble, where Nakamura was slightly late on his cue? Shin! Now!
Yeah.
Now! Like, what are you doing, mate?
I know.
Let him fuck up on his own accord. You improvise. Don't go, you've missed a beat, I need to shout at you. Do something else.
Yeah.
Think on your feet, man. You're not... Do you know what? As much as I thought Cena might be a shit actor, he's not. He's pretty good.
It's very good. Yeah.
Think on your feet. He's a better actor than he is a wrestling actor. Fucking explain that.
Ooh.
He is
Okay.
not a good wrestling actor.
Okay.
He's a good actor.
Yeah.
Makes no sense. Make it make sense.
Make it make sense.
Seriously, though.
Yeah, I get it. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, anyway.
Sorry, it's just one of those things that now we go back and watch it. I'm like, oh, yeah, that is really annoying.
Yeah, no, I agree. Orton is back on his feet and realises the predicament the challengers find themselves in, and his eyes grow wide. Bit like Big Show when he sees the catering. The punt is avoided as Cena releases the hold. Schoolboy roll up and we get a near fall. Big clothesline from Randy puts Cena down, and once again all three men are down. Well, it's changed it from Orton to Alton, like it's Towers. Is first to make it back to his feet, and he begins doling out stomps to every limb in sight. The kids in the audience begin chanting Cena's name, but that doesn't prevent Orton from connecting with a knee drop to the top of his head. One for Triple H as well. The second attempt on the game finds no water in the pool, and Cena follows in with a chop block. Triple H drives his knee over the back of the champion's joint courtesy of the middle rope, and Cena puts him down to the canvas with a back suplex. Cena hits the ropes but is low-bridged and tumbles down to the floor. Triple H trips Orton to the floor and applies incorrectly a sharpshooter. This is almost as poor as The Rock's version, but not quite. He's done the legs the wrong way. But the thing is though, Triple H watches wrestling. Triple H knows wrestling. I could apply a sharp, assuming the person was going along with it.
Yeah.
I would back myself to put. Granted, I haven't done a 15-minute match at this point.
Maybe, yeah.
But I know the order the legs go in. I feel like I expected more from Triple H, genuinely.
Oh.
For a man who does a lovely Indian deathlock, I was expecting, or I don't think you can call it that now actually, but a Native American deathlock, I would have thought he'd have nailed the sharpshooter, but maybe he's just went to Brett, oh, it's a shit move, so I'm going to do it shitly. Anyway, speaking of incorrectly applied holds, Cena is back in the ring and looks to apply a crossface on Orton whilst he remains in the sharpshooter. I was going to get annoyed at the way that Cena did his legs, because you're supposed to just trap it between the legs like that and apply. He put the arm under the first leg and then put the other leg underneath the arm, and I thought, actually, that would hurt more, because it's bending your arm against the elbow. And I thought, for as shit as the STF is, how have you somehow unintentionally made that look better?
Yeah.
Fine. And also, when he's doing the actual crossface, fine. When he's doing the STF,
I know.
no.
I know. Again,
make it
make sense.
Make sense, thank you.
There's your t-shirt.
Make it make sense. I agree. That is a t-shirt with your face going.
Oh, why my face?
Because it's more marketable than mine, I think. So
no.
the second attempt on the game. Here we are. Randy Orton is tapping the mat in submission, and referee Mike Chioda goes to signal for the bell before realising that he wouldn't know who to declare as the winner. Okay. Holly's confused.
Always.
Cody Rhodes and Ted. Yeah, I'll just do that every 2 minutes in the show.
Confused.
Holly's confused. Yeah. Cody Rhodes and Ted DiBiase Jr. both hit the ring and begin to beat down the two challengers, freeing Orton from his predicament. No disqualification, so you can't do anything here.
Yeah.
Which my question would be, bring them down to the ring in the first place. Don't run the risk of losing before they get there.
Fair point.
Anyway, Cody looks to check on the condition of the champion, but is scooped up onto the shoulders for an attitude adjustment. However, before he can deliver, he does chicken and lamb as well for those who are interested, Orton springs to his feet and connects with an RKO, causing Cody to land on top of Cena as he hits the canvas. He crawls into the cover, and we get the 1, 2, 3. Randy Orton retains the WWE title by pinfall. A victorious Viper slithers out of the ring with his title belt and fellow members of Legacy in tow, as the beaten challengers look on from the ring. During the replay, we see that Cena clearly tells Orton to continue tapping before the beatdowns commenced. Holly, what do you think of the match? How do you score it?
I gave it 3 out of 5. And even in hindsight, I would still stick with that, because it did have a bit of a bigger event feel. Not much, but a little. The ending, we knew I wouldn't like that ending.
True.
I hate endings like that.
Yep.
But then I get the point of it not making Cena or Triple H look any less of who they are. And actually, lengthwise, I thought it was spot on.
I agree.
Yeah.
3.25. I gave it.
Fair.
The only bit that got to me a little, and that's just because I find it boring, and I think it's done purposefully so, is Orton stamping away on each limb.
Oh, right.
Logically, it makes sense, because if you are in that position, stamping on your opponent, that's going to suck. But he does it in such a time-consuming method that I find it to be tedious. But actually, in the grand scheme of this match, I didn't find it detrimental. I think every match so far has hit the exact right length. Yeah. And normally, pretty much on every show, and usually multiple matches, we go, bit too long. Exactly. Or this one was a bit too short. Mm-hmm. We haven't said that about a single match on this card so far. Nope. Which is really good. I think really good. Backstage, we see the Divas champion limbering up for her upcoming title defence. Why'd you laugh?
Just nothing.
She's got her leg on a counter.
Yeah, because I'm sure that's what everyone watching this was looking at.
To be fair, that's all you can see to begin with, isn't it?
Yeah, for 2 seconds.
Oh, does it go to her knockers?
I mean, it's hard not to.
They get bigger than this, though, don't they?
Ginormous. I think they do, yes, but because she's so slender at this point, it looks ridiculous.
I prefer her now that she's got a more womanly form.
Oh, now I think she's absolutely stunning.
Oh, she was never not pretty.
She's never been, no,
yeah.
I agree. But, yeah, personally from...
And we see a bit of future unfolding before
we
our
do.
eyes, don't we? So she's limbering up for a title defence, and with that, The Miz walks into shot, and whilst directly looking at her tits, says that he cannot wait to see her in action later on.
One bet.
Probably not talking about the match.
Yeah, funny that.
I'll be honest, I think he could have been open about that. Do you know what? Bit of a shit wrestler. Cracking tits.
Yeah.
I think there you go. That's the opening gambit he should have gone for. Maurice says that if he should meet her later, after her match, maybe she'll show him her other moves. They're going to fuck.
How romantic.
Yeah, it's like, I'll show you my other moves. I don't need to ever do that again. I am so mais oui. I'm just honestly petit pois fromage frais. Maurice says that... oh, no, we've done that. I'm talking about... Sorry, I've gone down a different path there with Maurice. Miz leans in for a kiss, awkwardly, and is met with a hand in front of the face. My dick shrunk. Like with that, I was just like...
She does that?
No, it's the whole... Because I'm thinking, if I'm the guy and that happens, I might remain celibate.
Oh.
I think if someone genuinely put their hand up like that to me, I think I'm done trying. Like,
just forever.
Yeah.
Just done.
Because I'm like, I can't have that happen again. Okay. That's the type of thing that would... like, if this happened to me at the age of 17,
real, but I get what you're saying.
I think about that once a week at least. Like, that would absolutely forever. Fuck with me. I probably would have gone the complete other way and gone into, like, turn into some sort of gym rat and go, that's never fucking happening again if I try and do this. But yeah, so absolutely shriveled dick.
Funny.
Not well, sure. Have you ever done that?
Never. That's so rude.
Okay. Well, I don't know. Well, no, but if someone's like completely unwanted, I imagine that's the solution.
What, a hand to the face?
Just like no.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I mean, if someone came in for like a full-on kiss
Pash
and you don't
sesh.
want it, it's the head turn. You do the head turn, and that's the equivalent of a absolutely not, no thank you.
Yeah.
Or actually just saying, what are you doing?
Yeah, that's also a dick shrinker, I think that. But the cheek turn I could see.
Turn, yeah.
The cheek turn you'd think about, but you go, at least I didn't get a hand to the face.
Yeah.
So
no. I mean, it goes with her character, doesn't it?
It does. Oh yeah, no, she was always
great.
doing that
It's
thing.
great.
But yeah, it's just Miz was properly going in as well. Miz, to the face. Miz didn't win the United States title earlier, and Maurice does not want to be seen with a loser. My suggestion, marry him, having 2 kids.
And also, she didn't say that 2 minutes ago.
No, she said she was going to nosh him off or something.
Yeah, so you're giving him, you're being a bit of a prick tease.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, women out there,
God.
right, okay.
Jesus.
I'll tell you what, that other woman that's listening to this podcast, I don't know who you are, there's one of them.
There's got to be one.
There's got to be one of
surely.
them. What are you doing? Don't do it. Just think about it. Always be available is what I'm saying.
Wow.
Put yourself out there. God.
Oh, okay.
But be sensible. Be careful. Make sure you hang her out with the right crowds. So where are we? Miz getting cock blocked by his future wife. Miz... Oh, no, here we go. Miz grabs her by the arm. Danger. As he repeat... No, sorry. I've jumped way... I've got far too excited.
Far too eager.
Far too excited with this. Oh, no, I was right. Yeah, because she doesn't want to be associated with a loser. Miz grabs her by the arm as he repeats, loser? In disbelief? Yes. And he asks his future wife just who in the hell she thinks she is. He gets the... Oh, sorry, I really misread. I actually put it right, but I misread it massively wrong. He gets the old hard-to-get angle. Read it's hard on. But enough is enough. He is the Miz, and he can get any woman he wants. Miz says he wasted his time with her last week as he caused a distraction for Maurice to blast Mickie James with perfume and walk away with a win or something. I don't know what happened there. Maurice goes to interrupt the rant saying that she is a champion, but Miz says, no, you're not a champion, you're a tease, and one day you'll lose that title and come crawling back to him. At that point, it will be too late. She'll have butchered her chances, just like she butchers the English language every time she opens her mouth. I'll tell you what, even though that's a promo, she remembers that.
Oh, she still brings that up now in
She does,
arguments, right?
absolutely. He's like, can I go play golfing with my friends? She's like, do you remember that time you said I butchered the English language? No. Maybe. Back in the arena, we see it. No, nothing. Okay, fine. Back in the arena, we see Chili of TLC fame in attendance, and King claims that she gave him a kiss earlier. That's outside of his usual age range, I'll give him credit. Next up is the match. Maurice versus Mickie James for the Divas title.
Yep.
I'm just going to let that hang there for a bit.
Beer run.
Yeah.
Again.
Yep.
Initial thought, anyway.
I'll be honest, I had not high hopes for this.
Nope.
Because as uninteresting as Melina can be as a wrestler, Maurice is a level below that. And whilst one over-delivered what I thought was going to happen, I was like, it ain't happening twice.
Okay.
Not on the same show. Whose corner were you in?
Mickie James.
Absolutely. Girlfriend
dead on.
material right there. That's the girl you take home.
For sure.
Yeah, I think on the roster at the time, that would have been my pick. And she would have been bloody delighted to hear that, I am sure. As would her soon-to-be husband, Nick Aldis. He's a handsome boy.
He is a handsome
Small
man.
features. Small features.
Oh,
Big physique,
don't
small
do this.
features.
Don't do this. Don't ruin something about him so that now when I see him again, it's all I'm going to see is his tiny little pin eyes.
I do not ruin guys that you are potentially interested in. That's not what I do.
No.
That's not what I do. Some, sure.
Yeah.
Most, no.
Not all.
Most, no. We head back to Monday Night Raw as Mick, as I've called her here, Mick James, so it's now a singer in a band, makes her way to the ring, and we see footage of Mickie being interviewed by Josh Matthews where she's interrupted by Maurice. Instead of exchanging words, the Diva Champion unloads a can of spray in the eyes of her challenger. What spray is that? Deodorant?
I don't know. I mean, it looks like it would be hairspray. Obviously, it's not going to be, but
yeah,
something that looks like that, I guess.
Good shout. I genuinely couldn't think of what it was trying to be, because it's not like Rick Martel's arrogance that's being just sprayed in a
really
snake.
Big atomizer. Yeah.
Atomizer is a great thing.
Thank you.
Instead of we now return to the arena as the Divas Champion makes her way down to the ring. King gets on the case of Cole for how he pronounces the champion's name. Michael defends himself, saying, "I'm not French." Mm-hmm. Lawler responds, "Well, have you eaten French fries? I've seen you eat French fries." Fucking. Anyway, I nearly called him a very rude word there. Maurice removes her ring jacket and throws it at Mickie, who is only prevented from charging at the champion due to the official's interference. Weird she didn't sniff it. Odd. The two women look keen to get their hands on one another, and the bell sounds to signal that they can get underway. Maurice ducks a wild right hand and taunts the challenger for missing the target. They lock up with a collar and elbow tie-up, which the challenger uses to take the champion down to the canvas. The hold remains in place until they return to their feet, where Mickie secures a reverse waistlock. An elbow breaks the hold and Maurice scurries between the ropes to force the official to step in between and pull Mickie away. More taunting from the champion, who quickly ducks between the ropes once again as Mickie grabs hold of her by the hair and wrenches back. O'Connor roll with a bridge only gets a count of 1, and the champ scores with a kick to the gut. Following a whip, Mickie slides between the legs and snapmares Maurice down to the canvas. Basement dropkick doesn't even get a count as the champ's shoulders were not flush against the mat, and I thought, we got this same prick from the big event. Mm-hmm. But no, it was fine. It was just a one and done situation, and to be fair, her shoulder clearly wasn't down, so I'm okay with that. Yep. Punch and kick from the challenger, who finds herself whipped into the buckles, but she connects with a back elbow, lunges up to wrap her legs around the face, but is sent over the top rope and onto the apron. Mickie prevents a punch and lands one of her own, but when she looks to spring, she is met with a stiff kick to the face that drops her down to the floor. That sounded loud.
It did.
Very loud. Mickie just manages to break the count of 10 and is sent face first into the canvas on her return. More taunting from the champion, more taunting from the champion, as in the distance you can hear a chant of, "We want puppies." Mm-hmm. I don't want to say I agree with the fans because that's outdated, but Would have been more interesting, to be fair. Not a good match.
King says something very similar, doesn't he? Like, oh, I can get on board with that chance.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
To be fair, it's like in a bad guys match. Sure, slip a bit of offal out. Give me something to look at. Make it interesting. Equal opportunist. Big form. Big forearm, there you go. Big forearm from the challenger, but her whip is reversed into a back elbow, and her face is driven hard into the knee of the champion. Actually, that was very good. Yeah. That landed really well. Head scissors escape out of a pin, but Maurice is quick to apply a modified camel clutch. Direct quote. The long legs of Maurice on display. Not really, Michael. The champ adds insult to injury by smacking the head of the challenger, but does eventually release the hold to throw Mickey out of the ring. This is annoying. You were going to say the same thing?
Yeah.
You say it.
So, also, well, it's just obviously in, out. The crowd is dead.
Couldn't be more quiet.
Dead.
Couldn't be more quiet.
And it makes me feel sad for Mickie James.
Yeah, because she's better than this.
It's just sad.
I was going to say, wouldn't you have rather had Michelle McCool against Mickie James? But then when they did have that feud, it was Piggy James.
Yeah, and I hated that. That's horrible. But the quality
nonsense
of the wrestling between these two, it would have been great. But also, would I have wanted to see if
Melina
we're switching
against
them,
Maurice?
Melina and Maurice? Absolutely
That's 30
not.
seconds.
No, that is a
30
quick
seconds.
job, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so what actually annoyed me wasn't that.
Okay.
It was thrown out of the ring for no purpose to go get her and put her back in the ring.
Oh, yeah.
Why?
I know.
Do something out there.
Yeah.
Anyway. So they head back to the ring.
Yeah, that's literally, sorry. It's the exact same thing. I just put, why bother?
Yeah. Smacking the head of the challenger, but does eventually release the hold before the jump. Yep. Maurice reaches under the ring skirt and grabs the same can that she used effectively on Raw earlier in the week. She enters the ring, but a spinning back kick catches her in the midsection and she drops the can. Now the challenger has the potential weapon. I didn't really know what to call it at this point. And I didn't want to put can again. I got annoyed putting can. Okay. Canister. Maybe I should have mixed it up. She rolls to the outside to use it, but is snatched out of her grip by the referee. Maurice misses with a clothesline and succumbs to a Thez press. Mounted right hands find their mark, and Maurice is run back first into the apron before being deposited back into the room. The room.
Ooh.
It's the room of sorts. Mickie heads to the top rope but misses on a flying nothing, and Maurice looks to capitalise with a pin, but it's not enough. Mounted forearms by the champion as the crowd fall asleep with a return to the modified camel clutch. Mickie manages to get to her feet with the champion still on her back and delivers a backpack drop, driving the wind out of Maurice. The two women exchange forearms from their knees as well as driving each other's face into the canvas. Running forearm by Mickie, and this is getting really messy now as the champ is thrown to the floor and levelled with two clotheslines. Neckbreaker scores and we get a 1, 2, no. Face first into the buckles goes the champion and shoots a shoulder to the midsection but counters a whip to the opposite buckles. Back elbow by Mickie lands, and this time she does secure a Hurricane Rana. Maurice catches her challenger unsuspecting with a handful of tights, pulling her throat first into the middle rope, and she secures a schoolgirl pin for a count of 2. Finish it there.
Yeah.
Finish it there.
Yeah.
2 boots to the chest from Mickie, who climbs to the second rope, but is slammed back down to the canvas. DDT attempt is countered, and Mickie spikes the champion with a DDT of her own, and we see the 1, 2, 3. I understand why they couldn't end it there. The winner of this match and new Divas champion, Mickie James. Holly, give me your thoughts.
It was better than I thought it would be. Like, I will be honest.
It was what I thought it would be.
For me, it was better than I thought it would be. Not a lot, but it was definitely better than I thought it would be. 1 out of 5.
It was exactly what I thought it would be. Like, I would say this match was too long.
Okay, yeah.
Not massively, but it was too long.
We'll take out the roll out, roll back ins, roll out, roll back ins.
Take out the match.
Well, yeah.
But it has to be Night of Champions, I get it. 0.5 stars.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad Mickie won. That's the only takeaway I've got from that. And I thought, now Maurice and Miz can be losers together as they're playing Sexy Twister or whatever it was that kids do these days. Do the kids still play Twister? I don't know. Ask King. Josh Matthews with Legacy. With that match in the books, we now head backstage to Josh Matthews, who is standing between Cody Rhodes and Ted DiBiase. This is where we see the handprints are still very much in place.
That's also the best part of this backstage segment for me.
Sexment.
Sexment.
Yeah, absolutely. Josh goes to ask them about their loss earlier in the evening, but is cut off by Ted, who says that it is typical for these type of people focusing on the negative, and I'm sure that's what his lawyer says as well. DiBiase asks what is more likely to be... What is more likely to be? What is more likely to be news? Them not winning the tag team titles yet, or Randy Orton retaining the WWE title? Unfortunately, he buries himself in this promo. Cody says that yes, Orton won, but John Cena and Triple H lost. Thanks. You can still see the handprint of the Big Show tattooed on the youngster's chest, and that is only slightly more eye-catching than the little piercing on his fucking nose. Step by step, Cody and Ted are cementing their legacy.
Cool, so.
The two men walk out of camera shot, and we return to the SmackDown announce table. Is it just me, Holly, or does JR look miserable? Fucking bored, miserable. And I know, obviously, he's had the Bell's palsy and stuff, but I'm looking beyond that and seeing that he doesn't. And do you know what? I don't think he was. I don't know if you know why that would potentially be the case. He was really annoyed that he was taken off Raw, split up from King, and put on SmackDown. He considered that to be a slap in the face and a demotion, effectively, with them trying to clearly replace him with Michael Cole.
Oh, okay. Were they not trying to split them so that JR could take his quality to the no, okay.
That might have been the way they tried to sell it to him, but effectively that's the reality of it. They were trying to split up him and the King and demote JR's importance. Vince, I could be wrong.
Switch it the other way around.
I could be wrong, but Vince, to me, never really understood why the fans like JR. He went with him because it was clearly working and was popular, but I don't think he ever got it himself. Because every chance he had to humiliate the guy, he took full advantage of.
Yeah.
And not to say he didn't do that with other people, because of course he did, but why does JR need to join the Kiss My Ass Club? Makes no sense.
No, it didn't make any sense.
Makes no sense whatsoever.
Nope.
Why does he need to be lit on fire by Kane?
Oh.
It's, I don't know, like every opportunity to kind of take a swing at good old JR seems to have been taken without a thought given. And I don't know, especially obviously, by the way, speaking of JR, have you seen what he's going through at the moment? So he's going through, colon cancer. We wish him all the best in his recovery, of course. Did you see what fucking Ric Flair came out and said?
No.
Ric Flair said, typical JR, focusing on the limelight, just worry about your recovery. And everyone went and jumped on Flair and went, fuck off. What are you talking about? Also,
stupid thing to
I
say.
don't, of all the people, look, Ric Flair is a wrestler. I'm going to caveat it with this. Ric Flair's a wrestler, fantastic, one of the best to ever do it, great promo, For anyone to say about the spotlight and limelight attention, I saw this man having a match in a fucking muumuu as his retirement match a couple years ago, and I'm sure he'd have another match if he could. And fair fucks to him, he's trying to stay relevant, but I don't want to hear, of all people, to be swinging those kind of punches. Don't do that. I get it. You don't have to like JR. You don't have to say shit in that situation. Yeah. Don't say it. I just thought that was... I'll be honest, I lost some respect for Flair there. Yeah. There's a lot of things that you can lose respect for Flair on based on his outside-the-ring antics and what have you. Like I said, he'll forever be one of the best to ever do it, maybe the best, but I thought that was ridiculously short-sighted for him to say that. And the community, rightly, has gone at him for it. Wow, yeah. Because if you're going to open your mouth in that forum, be prepared for someone to come back at you. I mean, I'm sure there'll be someone that will pick a issue. Well, there are people that pick issues with things that we've said over the years, but, who the fuck are we? So it's a bit different when you're doing it at that level. But I like to think that we can back up pretty much anything we've said, but that just seems so stupid. Anyway, just my thoughts on the issue. So JR, miserable. That's where we were, right?
Yes.
Cool. I don't know where I am here in the notes. Oh, there we go. JR and Todd Grisham discuss the upcoming Intercontinental title match between Dolph Ziggler and Rey Mysterio.
Yes. The
promotional graphic of Rey Mysterio with the Intercontinental title has me laughing as he looks like a child holding a championship belt replica. Thoughts? It looks like it's been done intentionally to make him look small.
Yeah, but they keep referring to him as little as well, which I'm just like, why? Why?
They did that. They did that when he won the world title, and people wonder why they didn't give a shit about him as champion. Mm-hmm. Especially, who his first match was as world heavyweight champion? Great Khali.
Oh.
Yeah.
God.
Cool. Yeah. Hopefully we don't get asked to review that for SmackDown.
No thanks.
Unless there's a kiss cam. They have a little pash sesh.
It's really funny.
No. We see Dolph Ziggler. No. We head to the promotional package. Yeah, we head to the promotional package for the upcoming match, which emphasises the achievements of the masked Intercontinental Champion. We see Dolph Ziggler, who was still relatively new on the scene as Dolph Ziggler.
Yes.
He'd been Nikki in Spirit Squad.
No, I like to try and forget that as much as possible.
I cannot wait to get a Spirit Squad match in the books.
I'm really, really trying to raise that from my memory.
I'm going to pick a show. I'm going to pick a show from like 2007.
Oh, good.
That's just going to have Spirit Squad dripping all over the presentation.
Ick.
Yeah. We see Dolph Ziggler attack Ray from behind, and the two go on to exchange words. Dolph asks the champ if he seriously believes that he can beat him. Not only does he believe that he can beat him, he tells him that he's beaten better than him. That's a good comeback.
Yeah.
That is a good comeback. Dolph requests the title match to see if Ray can live up to his claim, and this is, of course, accepted. So we've got the penultimate match of the night, Rey Mysterio versus Dolph Ziggler with Maria. Okay.
Yeah, that came out of left field,
Didn't it? And she served, to be fair, she was really important in that match.
She just sat there.
But the way she sat there.
Oh my
there's
God.
something, it's fucking amazing. I would love to have seen, knowing full well, let's say you're playing Maria, thing that I'm referring to, how you would have to have played character and not reacted to it.
He wouldn't be in that much, because I'd have absolutely floored him.
I so want to do that now.
Absolutely.
Imagine we do that at a Progress show. Sit down, I just go, you right there?
Pat me on the head.
Yeah.
You'd know about it.
Ooh.
No, I don't know how she just.
What's
plays
worse?
with that.
What's worse?
Patronising
Maria
prick.
getting patted on the head,
Yeah.
or Randy Savage getting Liz by the chin.
But they're two different things.
They are.
'cause
You
one
pick
is
one.
so patronising, and one is a little bit more aggressive than
You
I'd
pick
like.
one. Which are you going for?
Well, what's worse, the chin?
Okay, fine. All I'm hearing is open to a head pat.
No, don't do it. Do not do it.
So Rey Mysterio and Dolph Ziggler.
Yes.
Rey is obviously going to be smaller than pretty much everyone.
Yep.
And I know that you can struggle with size differences. Dolph isn't a small man. He's not a big man in the world of wrestling. Does that work well for you? Does that sit okay? Or are you still not particularly happy about it?
I can make peace with this one.
Okay.
Because, like you say, Dolph isn't huge.
He's not huge.
He's not huge.
No.
So, I can kind of make peace with it. But I also was not sure what I would see.
Okay. I think I know the answer. Whose side are you on?
Dolph.
Okay. Had to ask, ladies and gentlemen. Had to ask. Out first, making his way down to the ring, is the challenger. Correct. Dolph Ziggler, accompanied by Maria. I'll be honest, I have no recollection of Maria having any involvement with Ziggler. A chair is set up at A chair is set up at ringside for Maria to sit up on.
Are you alright?
Yeah. A chair is set up at ringside for Maria to sit upon, and she is patronisingly patted on the head. Actually pretty funny, because she's supposed to be a ditzy character as well.
Yeah.
So it kind of works that someone could do that and
just sit there, sit tight.
she's like a puppy and just like, okay.
Yeah, I do get it, but no.
Yep. I don't know, I found it amusing. And then I thought about someone doing that to you and how you couldn't have... You'd have been fired. You'd have been fired that night.
I'd be done.
Next out is the champion, who, as expected, receives a great reception from the fans in attendance. The bell sounds and we begin.
Before we begin...
Okay.
This is something that I notice in a Ray match, and it winds me up. It's one of those things that once I notice it once I notice someone do something once, or twice, or 3 times,
A lady.
it really grates on me. If your mask is moving that much, fucking do it up.
Yeah.
Oh, honestly, there's one, we'll get to it, but he's in like some form of hold, which is meant to be apparently really hurting him. But he's got time to adjust his mask.
Yep.
Fucking do it up.
Yep.
Livid.
Yep.
Just getting that out there now.
I can ruin someone else for you now if you like.
Go on.
I don't think you'll ultimately care because they're not in that much. And it's coincidental that I said ultimately. Ronda Rousey.
All right.
You notice that she adjusts her jocks every 5 seconds.
Yes, I have actually, yes.
Every 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, I counted it in one match and it was well over 20. Like, just moving.
Yeah.
The pants are at stop.
Yeah.
Nothing takes me out of it more
Yes.
than when someone is readjusting their
fiddling.
gear.
So
I get if your
If your
breast's
wap's about
about
to
to
come
fall.
out,
Yeah.
fine.
Bap. I went breast,
like,
you went bap.
especially so it's so silly, but from dancing, right? We're always told, like costumes, leave them the fuck alone. Unless, like you say, something is about to fall out, leave it alone. If something falls off, or
Go with it.
Leave it. If you cannot wrestle in a mask, don't. Or do the strap up that's underneath your chin, flapping in the wind.
Well, funny you should say that. So the two men circle one another before locking up with a collar and elbow tie-up. And they're actually making a massive point throughout that Rey Mysterio began his career at the age of 14 in a church in Mexico. You think he'd be used to wearing a mask by now, wouldn't you?
Honestly, it makes me so angry.
I don't actually know what the first word I've put here is, in the sense I ignored it. So this is just for... I'm going to ask you to read it.
Oh,
it's the first.
Jesus.
It's the first two words that you can see on that bullet point.
Even if it was written properly, I'd probably have a...
What was I going for there?
Uncommon Ari. Oh. Uncommonly isn't a word. On commentary.
Oh! It's on commentary.
Yeah.
You've worked out what I put. I had no idea. On commentary, they're making... But either way, it was irrelevant because I finished it. But that's... Oh, my God, we know each other too well. If you can work out what I've said audibly and what it's turned into...
Also, I'm a hideous typer, so maybe that's where I get it from.
Well, to be fair, how many emojis are in this one? Instead of... We haven't got the bees or anything like that. I'm waiting for you to use dog emojis for Bulldog and Dynamite.
I should, you know.
Or Dynamite Stick, Bulldog.
Oh, that's even better.
There you go. Mysterio is backed into the buckles, and apart from a slight shove to the chest, we do get a clean break. Dolph signals for a knuckle lockup, but changes his mind and connects with a dropkick instead. Quick cover only gets a count of 1. Instead of locking up, this time Mysterio slips around and secures a schoolboy pin that gets a count of 1. Second lockup sees Dolph transition into a headlock. Mysterio pushes free, but a shoulder tackle knocks him to the ground for another quick pin attempt. Second.
Second. All right, Sean.
Yeah, thanks. Second shoulder tackle. I'll let you have that one. Second shoulder tackle, second near fall. Reverse chinlock applied by Ziggler, and we get a shot of Maria cheering him on from her chair, or playpen, however you want to look at it. Todd asks JR why Maria likes the bad boys. Brilliantly, he responds, "Do I look like People magazine? I have no idea. Why do women like the bad boys? Thoughts?"
I don't know. Don't know.
Mysterio returns to his feet and pushes off. Dropped down and leapfrogged by the masked man, then he eats a kick to the midsection. Mysterio ducks a clothesline off a whip and fluffs his attempt at a head scissors takedown. Not good.
Nope. But Dolph goes with it.
Dolph still goes for something. Kick to the shoulder by Ray as he backs the challenger into the corner. Corner whip sends Dolph to the buckles, and Ray follows in, looking to deliver a Hurricane Rana that is caught and powerbombed into the buckles. Cover gets a near fall. Stomps by the challenger, who whips Mysterio hard into the buckles, causing him to ricochet down to the canvas. 2 count. Back to the reverse chinlock as Dolph looks to keep the pace nice and steady. The show-off lives up to his moniker by doing a chest stand whilst retaining the hold and flailing his legs before returning back to the canvas.
It's impressive. But
It's unnecessary.
Thank you, yes.
Back on their feet, and Mysterio looks to elbow his way free, but takes a knee to the gut. The champion whips to the corner. The champion is whipped to the corner, then goes up and over, securing the head of Dolph and sending him face first through the ropes and shoulder first into the ring post.
Drink.
From the ring apron, Mysterio springs to the top rope and connects with a seated senton, aka the Flying Sausage. Dolph misses with a clothesline, and Mysterio springs off the middle rope to connect with a crossbody. Reversal of a whip, but Ziggler ducks too early and... What? Oh, ducks too early and eats a kick. What I've got here is more accurately what King Kong Bundy usually did, and eats a cake. But does connect with a snap power slam moments later that gets him a near fall.
I like that.
Early and eats a cake.
Yeah.
Yep. Reversal of a whip, but Ziggler ducks too early. And, it's literally the same bit. Eats a cake again. Suplex attempt sees the champ land on his feet. Dolph retains a waistlock, but Mysterio charges forward and ducks, sending the challenger between the ropes to the outside. From the apron, Mysterio connects with a second Flying Sausage to the floor. They return to the ring, and the champ jumps to the top rope, but is cut off, and for the 4th time in the evening, we see an electric chair position, which I'm not going to ask you to repeat.
I was ready, though.
I bet you were. Mysterio, the ones you're ready for, I don't give to you now.
I know.
Mysterio fights his way free and lands on his feet, but runs into a kick to the gut. It looks as though Dolph is aiming to secure a Tiger Bomb. However, he's countered into a Hurricane Rana that leaves him draped over the middle rope. Only in Mysterio matches.
Of course.
Unless you're Michelle McCool against Melina. She did that. 619 attempt is avoided.
Oh no.
No, these are great. These typos might be my favourite. I'm going to read it verbatim. 619 attempt is avoided, and Dolphins, Mysterio sliding across the canvas. Dolph sends.
Oh.
Dolphins. Dolph sends Mysterio sliding across the canvas on his chest, under the bottom rope, and into the commentary tables.
Quite like that.
Yeah. They return to the ring, where Ziggler looks to rip away at the mask of the champion, which is when he starts playing with his mask, because he just never does it back up again.
Very annoying.
It is. Before getting a count of 2. Reverse chinlock applied once again, but it is swiftly transitioned into a semi-camel clutch position. That's been a popular move this night, hasn't it?
A semi-camel.
A semi-camel.
Yeah.
Got half the hump. Kick to the back and slap to the back of the head by the challenger sees Mysterio fire back with some forearms, but he misses one swing and is slapped back into the full Nelson lock. Once again, Mysterio slips free and slides between the legs of the challenger. I think I've missed some bits, but it's fine. But Dolph quickly repositions to apply the hold once more. Ray leaps into the air and rolls forward with the pin, but halfway through is prevented and Ziggler nearly steals a win himself. Kick by Dolph, who looks for a sunset flip. However, Mysterio rolls through and kicks the challenger upside the head. Cover gets a near fall. Wheelbarrow Bulldog attempt is countered, but Mysterio lands on his feet, only to eat a kick and then a jawbreaker. Hook of the leg gets a count of 2. Right hands against the buckles by the challenger, and he's dragged away by the official. When he returns, he whips the champion into the buckles, but runs into a drop toe hold that causes him to collide face first with the middle buckle. Mysterio charges, but finds himself elevated up and down onto the apron. Ziggler looks to run the champion into the buckles from the outside, but Mysterio fights free and climbs to the top rope. He leaps, but directly into a drop kick from the challenger, and we get the 1, 2, no, as Holly catches up in her notes. A second cover gets the same end result. A series of stomps by the challenger, who lies in wait. He charges but finds his leg kicked out from underneath him, and he lands in a heap in the corner in something that would have made Holly feel very uncomfortable.
It does, but also he's tripped up.
Yeah, so he ends up
But
upside down.
Flying in the air.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's kicked from behind, so his legs go out from under him as he's going forward.
It just made me smile, I'll be honest.
Is it any weirder than someone being whipped and then flipping themselves upside down in the
no,
buckles?
it's all stupid.
It's all shit.
No,
It's all shit.
silly, but yeah, it just made me go, okay.
Fair enough.
I was already irritated by this point with Ray, so that's fine.
Understood. A series of stomps by the challenger, who lies in wait, underneath and ends in the corner. Dolph is sat on the top buckle and is joined by Mysterio a moment later. Much like we would see in WCW from Dean Malenko, who's getting a second reference of the night, Dolph presses the champ above his head, jumps off the top rope and delivers a hellacious gutbuster.
Yes.
1, 2, no. Somehow Mysterio kicked out. Ziggler pulls Mysterio to his feet and onto his shoulder, but the champ slips out the back and kicks him in the midsection before landing an enziguri. Dazed, Dolph falls across the middle rope, spins, he does full 360, dramatic fall, and eats a 619. Springboard splash follows, and we get the 1, 2, 3. The winner of this match by pinfall and still Intercontinental Champion, Rey Mysterio.
Yes.
Holly, what do you think of this match?
As much as I went on that it annoyed me with the constant mask adjustment,
Yeah.
I would have scored it higher had that not happened. 3 out of 5.
We're very close again, 3.25.
Okay.
Normally you're slightly higher than me, isn't it? And but this one I've been going slightly higher than you.
You have.
Thought it was quite an entertaining match. Sure, a couple of missteps. I think the two of them worked really well together in this, to be fair.
they did.
I was fine with it. I thought it was interesting that this match went here, though, and they didn't have the proper piss break just before. But maybe
I see.
that's them thinking that the main event wasn't quite enough to end the show.
Maybe. Logic.
That's what I'm thinking. We get an aerial view of Philadelphia at night as JR starts babbling on about barbecue and cheesesteak. Seriously, that's all I heard. Man is hungry, man needs to be fed. An on-screen graphic shows us the main event of the evening, CM Punk taking on Jeff Hardy, and the reason that Holly picked this show.
Yep.
We head back to footage from the Bash where Punk got disqualified for kicking the official after allegedly being blinded with an elbow. A disgruntled Jeff Hardy would continue to assault the champion after the fact, despite Punk protesting his innocence. On SmackDown, Jeff confronts the champ and says he doesn't want to hear any of his excuses. He knows he intended to kick the referee. What does straight edge mean? That you're a liar? God damn it, he can't cut a promo. Awful. It's so bad, isn't it? Punk says that Jeff has no idea, and put him in there with Punk on the promos.
Yeah.
Deary me. Punk says that Jeff has no idea what type of person he is and offers him some advice. Just say no.
Oh, it's like an episode of Grange Hill.
It is. Mm-hmm. It's a bit before my time, that.
Well, it's before mine too, but there you go.
Okay. Punk refers to...
I'm not that much older, let's just...
No, you're not.
You know.
No, you're not. You're aging more like Christian, I'm aging more like Edge. Punk refers to those that cheer Jeff Hardy as being nothing more than slaves of various vices.
Ah, shut your face.
Punk points out that Jeff has had 2 strikes, whereas he has had 0. How many times has Punk been suspended? 0. Punk says that a guy like Jeff Hardy could never beat him. Jeff apologises and said, I guess I'm just not as perfect as the champ, but I'll beat him for the world title. Fucking hell.
I wish people could see that. That's so funny.
Just, I want to look forward to this match.
Yeah.
And Jeff does not. Jeff does the opposite. Jeff makes me uninterested in this match, purely based on his promos.
Yeah.
Ignoring what he can do in the ring.
Yeah.
Whenever he's relied upon to talk his way into a situation in WWE, I don't care. Because it doesn't land.
Yeah.
Some of his stuff in TNA promo-wise was actually a bit better. Not much.
Okay.
But a little bit when he was kind of the heel Jeff Hardy.
Oh.
And he had his hair cut very short.
Oh.
Yes. And it's the same period where he then got stoned out of his face in a match against Sting.
Yes, yes.
We'll have to do that show sometime.
Oh.
Have to do that show sometime. Holly,
Yes.
it's main event time.
Oh.
CM Punk versus Jeff Hardy for the World Heavyweight title. Whose side were you on, Holly?
Punk. I'm joking, obviously. I just wanted to see your reaction.
I genuinely was so confused there. That was a good poker face for
Thank
someone who's
you.
like usually really crap
I've got
with
a
that.
hideous poker face, but obviously, Jeff.
Every time I think about your poker face, I go back to that
When I was crying.
team meeting where you
Yeah.
said I've got this.
I can do this.
Wasn't even 3 seconds.
No,
Wasn't even 3 seconds.
Cried.
I'd have been in CM Punk's corner. Still am.
Yeah, fair.
So, did you think it was going to be a good match? And this was the question I was going to ask you at the beginning of the show.
Okay.
What on the Instagram post that you saw
Yeah.
did it suggest about this match was of particular interest?
Just said it was worth watching.
Okay.
And I'll be honest, fine.
Okay.
I'm quite like we talked about. Like, I'm happy to watch anything within reason, and if it's Jeff and Punk, like I said to you, I've not seen them wrestle here. Like around this, I'm not seeing a lot of people wrestle around this time frame, but you know, I like Punk now. I like Jeff forever.
I think, yeah, that's true. Never a truer
Then,
word said on this
now,
show.
forever.
Together.
Okay.
Yeah, with this, I think this was the era around about the time where CM Punk was boinking Lita.
Ooh.
I think.
Controversial.
Because do you remember that not promo, but the video that both Hardys were off their nuts on something.
No.
And they were doing a video, and Matt Hardy, and I like Matt Hardy, but this was so bad. It wasn't like a promo for a wrestling show. It was just them filming, and it somehow made it onto the internet. And he said, "Yeah, Amy might be sleeping with you, but she talks to me."
Oh no. Yeah. I've not seen that.
Yeah.
No.
Ooh, beta. Like, what are we doing? Oh, cool. Oh, poor Punk. Oh. I've heard her talk. I think I know which one I'd rather do, if I'm being honest. But it's just like, it was like you're supposed to be, but she talks to me.
Oh, big whoop.
Yeah, exactly. In a diner, I think they're in. I need to find this clip for you. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. I know Jamie will have enjoyed the fact that that's been referenced. Oh dear, so bad. And like I said, I like Matt Hardy, but that was just, whoever posted that did him dirty. If he posted that, I'm shocked. I am shocked. The first thing we hear out of the mouth of JR is that he's surprised that we're seeing the World Heavyweight Champion come out first. Fucking you and me both, mate. We've got a few moments of waiting as the fans chant the name of the challenger whilst being encouraged by Punk until Jeff Hardy finally makes his appearance. As Jeff is high-fiving the fans at ringside, he accidentally knocks a collectible, and I do say collectible, out of a face-painted man's hand and is kind enough to return it to its rightful home before entering the wing.
Oh.
The wing. No, I'm going to say the wing now. Justin Roberts makes the formal introductions for the night's main event. The bell sounds and this one is underway. The two men begin to circle and the champ plants an early kick to the side of the knee. Another well-placed kick by Punk finds the mark. Side headlock applied as the fans chant, "Let's go Hardy."
Yep.
Hammerlock applied and Punk is showing that he can out-wrestle his opponent before shoving him away dismissively. They lock up and Punk reapplies the side headlock. Push off by Jeff, but he is knocked down to the canvas with a shoulder tackle. Drop down and leapfrog by the challenger, but his hip toss attempt is blocked and he is lifted onto the shoulders of the champion. Go to sleep is avoided, as is the twist of fate, but Punk is levelled by 2 clotheslines in short order. Face first into the buckles goes Punk and Hardy follows in with shoulders to the midsection. Strong whip into the opposite buckles, but Punk counters a backdrop into a sunset flip and gets a near fall. Reverse chinlock applied by Punk as we see most of the face paint on Jeff has worn away to the point of it looking like he's wearing a mud mask. Jeff manages to make it back to his feet and punches free from the hold. Whip is reversed and Punk ducks down, causing Hardy to fly out of the ring and crash into the barricade. I actually thought that was quite good.
Yeah.
JR hypothesises that the champ would be more than happy to retain on a countout. Suicide dive from Punk finds no water in the pool as Hardy moves out of the way and Holly winces.
And it's a weird one to, like, it didn't make me go, oh my God.
Because he didn't land on his head.
Because he kind of weirdly comes out the ring and then his body turns like a little bit sideways.
Yeah, it's a little bit Wile E. Coyote chasing Roadrunner off the edge of a cliff, realising the Roadrunner isn't there, stopping, looking
with his legs.
He's looking down, looks at the camera, then drops, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a weird one.
Yeah.
So it didn't make me panic, but it also made me go, huh?
It's when they catch their legs on the rope and you go, oh, yeah. They return to the ring where Jeff gets a 2 count. Neckbreaker connects, and now Hardy is heading to the top rope. Before he can take flight, however, Punk rolls to the outside, but he still isn't safe as Jeff takes flight, but only finds the barricade when he lands. Punk rolls into the ring and encourages the official to begin his count. With only a moment to spare, Hardy rolls back into the ring, much to the annoyance of the champion. Punk goes for a cover, but only gets 2. Knees and kicks to the spine of Hardy lead to another count of 2. Jeff is whipped into the buckles hard and eats more kicks to the upper back before a cover with a knee across the throat gets gets a 2 count once again. Drop kick to the back of the head gets another near fall. Bow and arrow submission, which JR refers to as being an oldie but a goodie. The fans begin rallying for the challenger, who lands in a pin but barely gets a 1 count. Big kick to the ribs keeps the challenger down. More punishment dished out to the back of Hardy with forearms. Punk seats Jeff on the top rope and joins him from the second, looking for a superplex. Instead, Jeff counters with a sit-out front suplex on the champion. With both men down, the referee begins his count, but they manage to make it back to their feet. What have you got?
Punk, after they both hit the canvas, Punk does start to like writhe around a little bit like a salmon that's just jumped out of the water.
Fair.
Which did make me smile.
I think it's because he landed awkwardly and he actually winded himself.
I'm sure something like that, but when you just see it, it just made me smile.
Slap by the champion is returned by the challenger and they briefly exchange right hands. Sling blade, kind of, by Jeff, and running forearm puts Punk down, but he connects with an atomic drop and double legs to the groin before a seated drop kick leads to a near fall. Face first into the buckle goes Punk, but he shoves Hardy, who was looking to deliver Whisper in the Wind, causing him to land in a Dick Guillotine.
Yeah.
Punk screams at Hardy to return to his feet, and he connects with a running knee in the corner. Bulldog attempt is countered, and the champ hits sternum first in the buckles, with Whisper in the Wind connecting at the second time of asking moments later. Cover, and we get 1, 2, no. Second front suplex leaves Punk in the... It's peas I'm struggling with today. Second front suplex leaves Punk in the perfect position, and Jeff begins his climb to the top rope.
That's very good. That was
Thank
very
you.
well enunciated.
Good alliteration. Swanton Bomb finds no water in the pool as the champ sits up. I get nervous when they sit up.
Mm-hmm.
Punk secures the arms and delivers a double underarm backbreaker before applying the Dragon Sleeper. I actually forgot what that was called. I went, fuck, what is that? And then they say on commentary, Dragon Sleeper. I went, oh, thank God, JR.
Yeah,
Good
I've
man.
written down Dragon, but I couldn't remember what the hell it was like. I was like, is that all it's called? Or
Yeah,
is there more?
Dragon Sleeper. Hardy struggles, but manages to make it to the ropes, forcing the hold to be broken. After adjusting his jocks, Punk signals for Jeff to get back to his feet. Kick to the front and back, as well as some open palm strikes, but from out of nowhere, Hardy scores with an RKO.
Yeah.
Although I'm sure they will claim it was a modified twist of fate. It's an RKO. He hits an RKO. Jeff removes his top and Holly screams.
Oh my God, shut up.
Yep. And now he stands atop the buckles, but Holly lands... Holly.
All right.
Holly lands on her knees.
Oh my God.
Holly screams... Hey. Holly screams, and now he stands atop the buckles, but only lands on the knees, so it's close, of Punk from the Swanton attempt. Hook of the leg, and we get 1, 2, no. Jeff kicks out. Punk stands on the apron and springs to the top rope, but is met with a kick to the stomach. Twist of Fate is countered, and Punk delivers the GTS. JR cannot believe it, and the second and third pin attempts still only get 2. That wins the match. Carries on. That's when I thought, something's afoot. Something's afoot here. The champ looks to be having an existential crisis. He cannot understand how Hardy has managed to kick out. Well, he did kick out pretty hard, to be fair, as well. With a resigned look on his face, Punk heads to the outside and retrieves his World Heavyweight title. He places it over his shoulder, poorly, and looks ready to leave. But as he's halfway up the aisle, he's attacked from behind by the challenger, who returns him to the ring. Wild strikes by Jeff back the champion into the corner, and the referee has to step in. Twist of Fate connects, and Jeff is back on the top rope, where Swanton Bomb lands at the third time of asking. 1, 2, 3. Jeff Hardy wins the World Heavyweight title by pinfall. Safe to say, if Holly has picked a show from this era, it probably means that Jeff Hardy is winning a fucking title. The new champion raises his arms in the air and lifts the gold for the fans in attendance. After the replays are done, we briefly return to the beaten former champion and finally the new reigning champion as the show comes to a close. Holly, what did you think of the match?
I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good length. There was great content. I massively overscored it, which I knew I would do, because it was Jeff. But I'm open to say that I do this.
Yep.
4 out of 5.
Okay. I think we'll wrap up there, ladies and gentlemen. No, to be fair, it was a good match. 3.5 stars is what I gave it, so I wasn't miles off. I don't know, like I said, the issue I had with it, genuinely, and I mentioned it before the match, was Jeff made me not care. With that, his promo work was so just... Don't have him talk. Mm-hmm. In the highlights, it really doesn't land for me. And like I said, I find it detrimental overall. But to be honest, the match was as good as I was kind of thinking it would be. Yeah. I didn't expect it to blow my socks off, and it didn't. So, but still, pretty good overall.
I enjoyed it. I did also read somewhere that Jeff has since said that he would like Punk to be one of the options to retire him.
Really? Why?
Yeah, apparently so.
I mean, who else?
Just said they enjoyed their rivalry when they had it.
What, straight edge against the drunk?
Yeah, basically.
Fair.
And that he's one of the people that he would like to be an option to retire him.
I'm really struggling to think now who should end it.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I'll tell you what it should be. And there's no way it can happen.
Oh, okay.
It needs to be the Hardys against Edge and Christian. All 4 men retire.
That would have been amazing.
All 4 men retire.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be a ladder match or anything silly.
No.
In fact, don't do a ladder match.
Well, please don't.
But yeah.
I think they would all be retiring.
Edge would. He'd land on his fucking ear or something.
Oh, God.
Do you know?
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Do you know Edge broke his neck?
No,
okay.
really?
Yeah.
No.
Might have come up.
Stop it.
So how do you feel about the overall show? What would you score it?
It's weird because when I look at it as individual matches, there's a lot of 2s in here for me. 2s, 2.5s, there's 3, there's 1 4. But really fine. Easy to watch. Didn't feel that long. I did do a half score. I did 6.5 out of 10.
That is my score.
Really?
Yep, that's my score. There were 3 matches that delivered more than I expected them to. So the tag match was better than I expected. Dreamer and Christian was better than I expected.
Yes.
The women's match between Melina and Michelle McCool, to give them credit, that weirdly to me, even though it was far from my highest rated match, I was most pleased by that because I expected that to be hot garbage, and it wasn't. And it wasn't. So fair play to him, because that will stick. I feel like that will stick in my head. Of all the takeaways from this show, that's going to stick in my head. Triple threat, good. Main event, good. The only real poor match on the night was Maurice and Mickey.
Yeah.
Backstage stuff was limited, didn't really annoy me. All the matches bar one had good length. I was close to giving it 7.
Yeah.
But I couldn't. Something didn't feel right about that, so I went with 6.5.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But who really cares about that?
Oh, okay.
We're at the main event, the real main event,
okay.
the real main event of the show. Holly's outfit of the night. Now, how many contenders did we have?
This was hard. 6.
Okay, can I guess a few?
You do, yeah.
Michelle McCool,
Yes.
Melina,
Yes.
Ray.
Yes.
Who else was on the card? I don't want to take up too much time with it. Triple H.
No.
Okay, no one from that match. Randy Orton and John Cena aren't getting in.
Nope.
Who was in the other women? Maurice.
Yes.
Mickey James, maybe?
No.
No, that's fine. I get that, though. Okay, I don't know. Who else?
Cool. So we started with Lillian.
Yeah,
Garcia.
yeah.
She
The dress
looked
was actually very nice.
stunning.
Very
little,
nice dress.
Little sequin.
Yep.
Christian actually got a mention for the
Yep.
gear he comes out in. It's like a tracksuit, but it's leather with silver.
Yep.
It looks good.
Yeah,
like
I'll give
it.
you that. The entrance gear was very good.
Yeah, Michelle McCool, the bright green, the detailing. I just really like that gear.
Mm-hmm.
Bloody great. Melina, obviously, we've already talked about. She's on the list. Maurice, great. And also the entrance she does with the long, like, I guess, I don't know, what it's a cape jacket. I don't really know.
Yeah,
what it
ring
is.
entrance jacket. Yep.
And Ray with the black and purple.
Okay, so can I get? Well, yeah, I think I know who's won.
Okay.
Big Show.
Piss off.
No, okay. I think you'll go Michelle McCool.
Easy winner.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about that. I just thought I saw it and went, that's going to be tough to beat.
I
for
really
Holly.
like it. It's such a good colour and also
Yeah.
the style.
It's like
really
electric
like it.
blue. I don't know
Yeah,
how to.
Teal, I thought.
Teal. Ooh, yeah, no, we'll go with teal
Cheeky
because
teal.
electric blue doesn't sound quite right.
Ooh.
And Michelle McCool is now. I need to
I'm
hear.
going to have to do this list, aren't I?
Yeah, all you have to all you have to do is
I'll just
literally
look at my
listen to
notes,
the end
yeah.
of the or that
Yeah.
even save hearing your voice. I guess.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
No, that's fine. Do that because I want to know how people stack up. It's one of those things.
I'll
It's
start doing
like
a tally chart.
it's like the match ratings. I want to hear and have a comprehensive
Yeah.
list because I'm such a nerd. I heard that. I heard it out loud. Maurice should put her hand in my face. But I keep forgetting this bit as well.
Yeah.
We're nearly done.
Oh,
We're
socials.
socials. Apologies, I've forgotten.
Yeah.
Obviously, Holly's been inundated on Instagram as of late, which is actually really nice.
Yeah, it's
Nice to
great.
see.
It's great. So Gmail is a Win Twice Pod.
Gmail.
What is a Gmail?
It is a Gmail. You're
What's
right.
a Gmail?
Oh yeah, I shouldn't
Factual.
criticise. It's factual. It is factual.
And then obviously Instagram and YouTube is Win Twice Pod.
So on email, you can send us show suggestions, or you can
Anything
even
like, really.
yeah, pretty much. You can send us comments about shows we've done, and like I said, any that are decent and stuff rather than good or shit.
Yeah.
I'll make sure that I read out on a future show, ideally the one following, but either way, I'll make sure that it features in, so it is not a wasted effort, because we want this to be interactive with you guys, because it's nice to see various levels of feedback, which we have been getting, to be fair, for a long time. Do you know, it's been 18 months.
I didn't, but yeah.
18 months now, because we did it October 23 is when we started.
Ooh.
Yep. And we're coming up on a total of 100 shows being posted if you include our Christmas specials.
Yep.
It's like 97, I think we're at the moment. So exciting times. It's a thing.
Oh.
It is a thing, isn't it? It's kind of grown legs, become
Yeah.
a different animal, but I'm still enjoying it. And hopefully you've enjoyed it, Holly.
Yep.
And if Holly hasn't, hopefully everyone else has
well,
at
yeah.
least enjoyed it. No, we've enjoyed it, but hopefully you have as well. Everyone listening out there in Listenerland, whether on YouTube or on the podcast platforms. Listenerland, that might be a shirt, but I think it should be, shouldn't it? But yeah, until next time, everyone, take care.
Until next time, this has been a Win Twice Wrestling production. Peace out.